everybody, welcome to Mark Goldbridge. That's football. That's not the right channel. No, that's definitely not the right channel. Hello and welcome to the United Stand. I am Mark Goldbridge and this is a massive game for Manchester United in the Europa League tonight against Granada. And the good news is that there isn't actually a full league team out there at the moment. I'm probably going to get told very differently in the live comments in a minute, but there doesn't appear to be a full leagued team out there at the moment, which is fantastic. I think, we can't have team news coming out 3 hours before the game. It would be ridiculous. So as things stand at the moment, we haven't had a full team news out, but we have. So that means I can stick with my team that I would like to see. I don't think we will see it, by the way, but there is indications from the Manchester Evening News that David De Gea will start. Now, we'll talk about that in a moment because there are some quite interesting things around that. What I want to say about that, first of all, is that I've always been quite firm that there is a media agenda against David De Gea, and certainly we never needed any of this. Now, I've had people throw it at me that I've got an agenda against Dean Henderson, which is absolutely bullshit, because I've never ever had an issue with Dean Henderson as Manchester United's goalkeeper at all. I think he's a fantastic goalkeeper. I think he did a great job at Southampton. No, he didn't, at Sheffield United last season. And I think he's a very good goalkeeper for the future of Manchester United. I really, really do. And I'm very happy with the situation that presents itself. If David De Gea plays in goal today and then Dean Henderson's in the goal against Spurs, you can pick your pips out of that. You can take from that what you want. You could say it means that David De Gea has been demoted and Dean Henderson is the number one. You could interpret it that top four's done and David De Gea is going to play in goal in the cup game so we can win a cup, which is more important. I don't really care how you interpret it. All I've said is that although I prefer De Gea, you cannot have a situation where you have two goalkeepers of that quality who don't play football. And, we need them both playing football and the role should be shared. So I'm more than happy with that situation. And hopefully De Gea does start tonight. And if Dean's in goal for the Premier League and David's in goal for the Europa League or vice versa, I'm very happy with that. I'm very happy with that because I like them both as goalkeepers and a decision must be made in the summer one way or the other. But not now. And that was always my issue. So I don't have an agenda against either player. I'm just happy that the situation appears to be resolved, that we share the role out fairly, and then we make a decision in the summer. And I'm happy with that. Mark Goldbridge looking like a young German tactician. Glory, glory, Man United, says Santino. Thank you very much. And Aiden says, let's just sell De Gea, it's pointless talking about it. And maybe that's what will happen in the summer, hey Aiden. But until we get there, and considering how much David De Gea is on and how much he's worth, you need to keep him playing football. McTominay and Pogba usually don't play well together. Would love to see Greenwood leading the line. Love the channel. That's not the team. That's just the predicted lineup. That's not the team. So don't worry about that. We actually, for the first time ever, don't have... Well, for the first time in a long time, we don't have a leaked team coming out. The only thing coming out is that David De Gea is probably going to start. However, let me just read you this from a certain journalist in the Manchester Evening News who said, David De Gea expected to start tonight. The understanding is that David De Gea will start for United tonight. Dean Henderson has started in the previous 4 Europa League ties. However, disappointed he may be to be back on the bench tonight. It's additional confirmation. Henderson is the United number one. Nobody with half a brain buys Solskjaer's 2 number ones rhetoric. That's from a journalist. Nobody with half a brain buys Solskjaer's 2 number ones rhetoric. You can feel him crying from here. Oh, Dean's not playing in goal, but that's because he's number one. Hey, I don't believe that there's 2 number ones. I mean, just chill out with your agenda, mate. We've got 2 very good goalkeepers. Share the role. Sort the issue in the summer. I think that's all any level-headed Manchester United fan wants to see happening. So let's see what happens in relation to that. But I'm quite happy to see that happening, and I hope that we can focus on the actual team tonight instead of the goalkeeping situation, which whoever's in goal, I don't think it would make massive amounts of difference. I think to me, it's all about who's in goal, who's playing outfield tonight. Now, I've got Maguire and Lindelof. I've got Maguire and Twansebi. I expect it to be Maguire and Lindelof, but the only reason I put Twansebi in there is because Eric Bailly is not fit and Lindelof has got a bad back. So it just seems stupid that we play Victor Lindelof 3 games in a row. I've also got Van der Beek in the midfield with Bruno and Pogba and Dan James off the left and Greenwood up front. I don't think Cavani looks fit enough to play 3 games in a week. Marcus Rashford's not fit enough to play 3 games in a week. And that's why I've gone with that. I don't expect that to be the outfield team at all. I actually think we might see Paul Pogba playing off the wing again. And I think we'll probably see McFred. But look, I hope that's not the case. I want United to go and put a marker out in this tie tonight. I don't think Granada are particularly good. They will be quite technically good because most Spanish sides are. But I don't want to see us playing second fiddle to them. I want us to go out on the front foot and dominate the ball. And to do that, you've got to play Pogba centrally. And I think to be honest, if you want to dominate the ball in Europe, you've got to play Pogba, Van der Beek and Bruno. But look, let's see how he lines up. Do you think the Man United squad is better or worse or the same this season versus last season, says Evander? Well, I've said it before, Evander. I actually think that the team we've got at the moment is worse than the team that finished last season. I felt that Matic playing as well as he last season gave us a centre defensive midfielder. We haven't got one this year. So that's one reason we're worse. I also think that Martial, Greenwood and Rashford were more prolific and consistent last year than they have been this year. So I think last year we were probably better. One of the big improvements is Luke Shaw at left back. All English Black 4. Nice to see the confidence, says Akshay. This is not the team. I knew this would be the problem when we don't have the leaked team. This is not the team. This is just the team I put out from the preview. The only player we think is definitely starting is David De Gea, but there is no leaked team tonight. So we don't know whether that's correct. It won't be correct. I will be changing that. There's no way Ollie's going to pick that team. I wish he would, but there's no way he's going to pick that team. This is the preferred team, Smutty. Exactly. This is the preferred team that we spoke about in the preview. So I don't think we're going to see that team, unfortunately. Can I just say as well, if you've downloaded United Stand Picks, the link is in the video description. We've got another £1,000 prize pool to give away for the match tonight. 12 questions, all to do with the game. Will United score in the first half or second half? Will they get a penalty? Will Bruno get an assist? Those sort of questions. For every question you're right, you accumulate points. The people with the most points at the top of the leaderboard, which you can look at live during the game, win the £1,000 cash prize pot. It's free to enter, but you must be over 18 because we are giving cash prizes away. Please play responsibly. The link is in the video description, as are the terms and conditions. Make sure you download it. You've got up until 5 minutes before kick-off to play. If you've already downloaded it, you may as well play because it's free to enter, and it is another £1,000 to be given away in the cash prize pot. So link in the video description for that. Don't forget to play it. Makes it a little bit more, you could win something out of the game. So there you go. I'd take Mbappe over Haaland, Ikra, easily, easy. And hi Mark, we will need over 100 million for Rice. West Ham will not sell. What are your thoughts, says Sam? I mean, my thoughts are very much that the summer will take care of itself, and we can't speculate too much about what's going on in relation to Manchester United's transfer plans. I mean, do Manchester United themselves know what their transfer plans are? And we don't know that. So let's see. Let's wait and see. Is my feeling about that. But I think that we have got a real opportunity to have an impactful summer. I mean, I saw somebody saying today, and I don't know what your thoughts on this. I saw somebody today twist a positive and say, look, the fact that Manchester United are going to give Ole Gunnar Solskjaer a brand new contract means that they will spend big, because anybody knows that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer can't win anything without a good squad. So therefore, their theory is that if Solskjaer's getting a new contract, the club must be looking to spend a lot of money on him. I don't think that is the case. It's a nice theory, and I agree with it. I think that if you give Ole Gunnar Solskjaer Man City's squad, I don't think he necessarily wins the league. I think he could do, but he doesn't necessarily do it. If you give Ole Gunnar Solskjaer this squad, then he's going to struggle. And so I do agree that we do need to invest in this squad, but you'd need to invest in this squad if Pep was the coach. And it's like Hassan said, I'd like to think that the club are going to back Ole, but we don't know that. We don't know whether that's going to happen as well. Mark, I reckon we're going to win 4-0, says Connor. You're not the first person to say that to me today, Connor, actually. Quite a few people have said to me today that they think Manchester United are going to win and win comfortably. I'm going to go 2-0. I think so much depends on the starting lineup, and so much depends on how Manchester United play. Remember, you can pick the most attacking 11 you like. I think I'm getting allergic to streams. I've not sneezed all day apart from the morning show, and I'm sneezing again. But I think that so much depends on how we approach this game, doesn't it? Because we have played some fantastic football at times this season, but we are also going to be dictated to by how we approach the game. How often does Solskjaer approach an important game in a positive way? So let's see. Nasra, I mean, look, can I just be honest? You know I will be. If he picks McFred, that's not on a very attacking side. Welcome to Nazareth, latest member of the United Stand Members Club. Thanks everybody who does become a member, by the way. You get a badge next to your name. I haven't really pushed it for a very long time, but thanks everyone who does support the channel by becoming a member. You get your badge next to your name, which changes every month you're a member. And Vish with a super chat says, I think this could be tactical by Ollie. De Gea plays first half of Prem, Dean plays Europa. Since we have top four on lock, he gives Dean a chance when he gives De Gea Europa, since it matters the most now. There's lots of theories, Vish. I mean, I'm not, you know what, I'm not going to get into that. I've never had an issue with Dean Henderson. Never. I haven't. I just have defended De Gea because I've got loyalty to players that have delivered for us. All I want is them for sharing the role. I wouldn't even be happy. This is how much of an agenda I've got. I wouldn't be happy if Dean Henderson got completely dropped now and David De Gea played League and Europa League. I don't think that would be fair. They've shared the role throughout the season, both of them. That's what should happen till the end of the season, and then a decision should be made. And, you know, you might think that now that De Gea is the cup goalkeeper, if he starts, that means Dean Henderson's number one. But I don't agree with the guy from Manchester Evening News. I don't think it's conclusive at all. Solskjaer says he's got two number one goalkeepers. Maybe you put your best goalkeeper in the cup, like Vish said there, because you want your best goalkeeper in the cup because that's the, you know, top four's on lockdown. Or maybe De Gea has been demoted to the cup goalkeeper because the number one goalkeeper is the Premier League goalkeeper. I don't really care. As long as they share the role and we make a decision in the summer, I have no agenda. That's all I want to see happening. Do you think United can reach the level of a Bayern with a manager who immortalises Magaluf and McFred and plays Pogba on the wing? Wake up, United fans. But Bayern are the best team in the world, and that's what we should be aspiring to, I agree. That was from Julian. And also, we've got just finished my picks on United Stand Picks. Kenneth Hoagland, well done, mate. If you are playing United Stand Picks, links in the video description. Another £1,000 cash prize pot. You must be over 18 to play, and but it is free to enter. So get involved. Kenneth has. People need to stop saying top four is on lock. Man United are very capable of blowing it. The centre backs and Ollie do not give me confidence, says Noah. No, but you know what, Noah? I'm not a pun. It's not a pun on your name, Noah. But no, Noah, I disagree with you there. I know we should always, but this flies in the face of what the previous person said. We must always be wary. But from the position we are in, we should not be not getting top four. That would be bottling top four. I think there's a difference between arrogance and confidence. And I'm confident we're going to get top four because we should get top four. Look at the gap we've got. Look at the games we've got left. It would be bottling of huge proportions if we didn't get top four. So I don't think we can say that we want to aspire to be Bayern Munich, but then be over risk averse and say we haven't got top four sorted yet. I think we have got top four sorted, and if we gave it away from this situation, it would be very, very, very poor. Apparently, there is a leaked lineup out. I'll get that for you. Welcome to the Members Club, Nazra, and people need to stop. Yeah, I've done that one from Noah as well. There's a difference between should and will, though, says Noah. Oh yeah, I agree with that, Noah. I'm not. You know, I think you do leave yourself wide open if it goes wrong, but we must be careful. I get that, but realistically, we should have top four on lockdown, and hopefully that means that we have. Now let me have a look if I can see if I can find a leaked lineup here. I can't find the leaked lineup. I normally get a message about it as well, so I can't see anything about a leaked lineup here. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, would you get me a tissue from off the microwave, please? Thanks. Sorry about that. Don't want to be caught short whilst streaming. No, I can't see one, so I will go off the live comments that there is one out there, but I can't find one. Thank you very much. Cabby says it's De Gea, Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Maguire, Shaw, McTominay, Fernandes, Rashford, Greenwood and James. I wouldn't be surprised if it's that. I did predict that, if we go back to this screen, I did predict that McTominay would start, so it wouldn't surprise me. Of course, he was never going to pick Twansebi. It was just wishful thinking. Let's play somebody with a bad back for 3 games in a row. Why not? And starting Rashford would be bloody ridiculous. But there you go. Welcome to the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer management club. He just won't rest players. He just won't do it. But hopefully it'll work. It's a risk. I'm not anti-Ole about that. Well, I am. I'm not anti-Ole, but I don't agree with what he does with players. I think he overplays players, and I've said that many times. No, the tissue box is next to the microwave. So, there we go. Leaked Twitter, De Gea, Telles, Maguire, Lindelof, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, McTominay, Pogba, Van der Beek, James, Cavani, Greenwood. That sounds way too weak. Quick clips, way too weak. And now we're getting all sorts of dodgy ones out there. I'll tell you what, let's just wait and see. I watched you walking with Robbie Knox. It was brilliant, Mark, says Rich Smith. Yeah, I really enjoyed that. It didn't get the views it deserved. I might try and give that a bit of a push somewhere. And also, I loved the goggle box. It was brilliant. It really was. But what's your score predictions tonight, everybody? David De Gea does start tonight. Simon Peach says David De Gea starts for Manchester United against Granada in tonight's Champions League quarter-final game. Rashford starts as well. Pogba, James, Greenwood also in the team. So no rest for Rashford, which is interesting. So we've got Rashford starting, James starting, and Greenwood starting. Simon Peach has given it. It's De Gea, Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Maguire, Shaw, Pogba, McTominay, James, Fernandes, Rashford, Greenwood. So he's gone quite strong, hasn't he? Let's change this screen then. So basically, where's my players? There they are. Okay. So what that means is, it means Dan James will move over here. It means Donny, you're going to disappear again. Sorry, Donny. It's not my choice. It's the manager's. Goodbye, Donny. Such a shame, but you're not there. And it means Marcus Rashford, who is clearly injured, is starting again. No place for Twansebi either. Take you out as well. Got more chance of starting in your dreams, mate. And bad back Lindelof starts. So, yeah. That's the team for Manchester United tonight. David De Gea in goal. Great to have David De Gea back in. I think it's only right that we do continue to share that role. So I'm happy to see him. Back four is very strong. I just wouldn't have played Lindelof. I think it's a mistake, to be honest with you. And we've also got... We've got McTominay playing with Pogba, which doesn't normally work. That doesn't normally work, McTominay and Pogba, I will say that. Fernandes, James, Greenwood and Rashford. So let me just change that and get rid of that. Someone said it's too strong. I've got no problem with a strong team. That's the official lineup, though. I've got no problem with a strong team for United at all. My only issue ever is the injuries. That's all I've got to say. The bench includes Grant, Henderson, 2 goalkeepers on the bench. Grant, Henderson, Telles, Twansebi, Williams, Ahmad, Fred, Mata, Matic, Van der Beek, Cavani and Alanga. So lots and lots of options on the bench. But that's the United team. No start for Donny van der Beek, which is disappointing. I agree. I agree that it's disappointing. But at this stage, does anybody really expect anything else? It really... I want him to start. I really do. But... I'm happy David De Gea is starting. I'm not convinced about McTominay and Pogba. It's never worked before. But it was always going to pick McTominay, I suppose. The good thing is that Paul Pogba's playing centrally. I think that is something I would take as a big, big positive. That Paul Pogba starting centrally really is important because he could have easily put him on the wing. I'm not happy with Rashford starting. I don't know why my Marcus Rashford fucking graphic keeps bloody being out of sync. Probably because he shouldn't be fucking starting, Ollie. But he is out of sync there. Let's have a look. Marcus Rashford. Try that one. It'll be out of sync again. It won't work. I've got a cold coming. Can feel it. Serious question marks over Ollie's man management. Far too often we don't rotate. Spurs on Sunday. It's Granada. Weakeners to play David Van der Beek, says Hashim. You wrote that out too quick, mate. We don't know what the last sentence meant. Ollie's too naive. Will never amount to a top manager if he keeps making the same mistakes over and over. No contract deserves. See out your year. Free Van der Beek, says Noah. Mark, you are my therapist, although I've never met you. Happy belated birthday. Cheers, mate. May you keep being a shining light to many others. Oh, very nice. Thanks, pal. Glad it's strong, said somebody there. Sorry, my cold is quite bad. You say COVID bridge, Danish. That's a really funny thing to say, isn't it? Because actually there has been COVID in my house over the last couple of weeks. So thanks for that. Nice little funny joke, isn't it? And if it does turn into that and I get seriously ill, thanks for the joke, you twat. That's what she said, says Idius. And I've never seen a manager too afraid to lose others than Ollie, says Dougie Yoon. And I think Pog could be risky, but could signal a desire to win the game early and bring on a DM, says Jackson Reed. Pogba's got to start this game. This formation and Dan James must be doing wonders on his football manager save. Awful choices again, says Upbeat Sarcastic. And even if we win like 4-0, I still can't see Donny van der Beek start at Old Trafford, Mark. I'm gutted he's on the bench. There is no way into this starting lineup for Donny van der Beek. Absolutely no way. I know people are upset and I know people are not happy. There is no way he's getting into this team. He cannot get into this team. He's not been able to get into this team all season. The same for Axel Twanzebe. The same for Brandon Williams. He will not do it. He just won't do it. I haven't got the answers, but he will not do it. He will not start Van der Beek. He will not start Twanzebe. And he will not start Brandon Williams. He will play Rashford, Lindelof, Wan-Bissaka into the ground rather than changing it up. He will not change it. And I don't know why people get so surprised by it. I can put a team out on what I'd like it to be, but to be honest with you, I wouldn't bet a fiver, let alone anything more. He won't do it. We can all have our best lineups. I'd love to see Donny van der Beek playing in a triangle with Pogba and Bruno, with one of them on the wing or tucking inside, switching around. I think it would work fantastically well. Do I think Dan James is going to work in this game? No. I can't see how Dan James does work in this game. Unless Granada play a high line, he might work. I don't watch enough of Granada to know. But he's a limited footballer, Dan James. He's a break player. He is not. He's a system player. This is why Ricky likes him. We will be well organised. And I think that's what we're going for. Support for Wan-Bissaka. Rashford, look, what Rashford worries me. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said in his press conference yesterday, he's not a 90-minute man. We'll have to see whether he can start. And he's starting. If you start a game, why would you start a player who's a risk? Why not bring him off the bench if you need to? Why would you start a player if he's a risk? Lindelof, we know he's carrying an injury. No change again. So I'm not moaning about it. I'm just saying to anybody in the live comments who's angry about it, what do you expect? He doesn't do it. All season he's been picking Lindelof with a bad back. All season he's picked Rashford with little niggly injuries. And obviously, you know, Dan James is the flavour of the month at the moment. So I personally don't think Scott McTominay and Pogba will work, but I'm here to be corrected. I just hope this team. I think what's really important tonight is that we just hold fire and see what actually happens. I always say that, but I want to see United go and express themselves tonight. What I really like is Greenwood playing at number 9. I'm really excited about that. I would actually rather we went with Greenwood at number 9 than Cavani these days, because I don't see a future with Cavani, but I do see a future with Greenwood. And you see what Erling Haaland's doing, and you see what Kylian Mbappe's doing, and I want Mason Greenwood to do that. And I'm not saying he's at their level, but is it? You know, you can't just keep talking about Mason Greenwood as a generational talent. You want him to start being given the opportunities as a number 9. He has got the physique and the build. He is not a winger. He is a number 9. Happy birthday, Mark, says Ryan 6. Thank you, pal. Yazza Said says he will not start Ahmed as well. Why we pay so much for a youth project? If he isn't, then why doesn't he play? Got a great point about Dan James and Amad Diallo. Anyway, if you want to clip something, clip this. Really happy to see Dare. Only problem is Rashford starting. Hope we don't pay for it and think Van der Beek could have started in a number of roles. Cheers. Says Daniel Luciano. Mark, all the things you've just said is why Ollie's not the guy, says Jimmy Conway. Right, let me just say this about Amad Diallo, right? So Amad Diallo doesn't start again. Dan James starts again. Dan James cost £15 million from the Championship and basically started straight away. He came into the team in the summer. He started straight away, and he's played loads over the first two seasons. Right? Amad Diallo costs us 35 million quid. Has played in the Champions League. Has played in Serie A. Can't get a start. Why? What's the difference? Now people will say, "Well, Dan James is British. He understands the British game. He'd never played in the Premier League in his life. Never played European football in his life. So and cost less than Amad Diallo. So and went straight into the team. Oh, we bought Amad Diallo halfway through the season. All right, maybe that's an excuse, but I don't really... Did Amad Diallo not come on at half-time against AC Milan and score an important goal? It's almost like Diallo and Van der Beek, it's like they'll come on and do something and then we have to forget about it because you're back on the bench for another 5 weeks. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't have the answer, basically. I throw it to you lot because I don't have the answer as to why these players don't start. But do I expect it? No. I said it in the press conference yesterday. What he said about Diallo in no way looked like he had any intention of starting him anytime soon. Sarash says, Ollie is too scared to play new players and new formations. Same team and tactics against all teams. We need a manager who is more tactical and fearless. Thank you, Sarosh. And the treatment of Donny reminds me of Jose and Bastian Schweinsteiger. Disgraceful, says Trading with Kieran. Easy win. I think Scott and Paul will be a great partnership. Creativity and engine, which is exactly what we need. It's like Scholes and Keane again. Ados is pissed. He's comparing Pogba and McTominay to Scholes and Keane. That is unbelievable. That's like comparing Ian Beale to Robert De Niro. That is absolutely disgraceful. Come on. I mean, I like Pogba and I don't mind McTominay, but there is no CDM there for a start, is there? Kickoff is at 8 o'clock, everybody. Greenwood will be the striker. The bench is basically everybody. The bench is everybody because it's everybody. Elanga's on there, Mata's on there. We've got about 10 subs. So, yeah, we don't need to really discuss the bench because everybody's on the bench that travelled. Apart from Bishop. We can't put 3 goalkeepers on the bench. 2 is enough. Mark, I can't remember a young player scoring the way Diallo did and not getting a sniff since. Poor management, says Red Devil. Thanks for the super chats that are coming in, by the way. And Eamon McAllister says, not surprised these leaks. Problem from the bench players, he's losing the dressing room. That's Eamon McAllister. And Nikolai says, to the Ollie outers, everything ain't black or white. We said before the league it would be a miracle to be top 4 with limited resources, and he is in second. Positivity. Positivity. Why is Rashford starting? Says Pedge. And Shoretire ain't on the bench. I don't think he was even travelling, Toby, to be fair. Ahmad for Rashford at half-time, says Jack Lynchy. Well, he'll probably bring Mata on, won't he? Tellez is on the bench, as is Twan Sebi. It's simple. Dan James has a British passport, as does McTominay. We prioritise effort over skill, and it's unsustainable, says Nathan Brown. And I cannot believe Rashford is starting, says Reece Jones. Rather watch paint dry than that team, says Triple. I don't know. I think that's a bit unfair. I think you might be going a little bit too far there. I think United could win, and I still think we'll win 2-0. Yeah, I still think we'll win 2-0. You've got Luke Shaw in that team. You've got Bruno Fernandes. You've got Paul Pogba. You've got Mason Greenwood. I mean, we don't know what we're going to get out of Rashford, really. If he was fit, I'd be very happy. But look, I still think we've got enough quality there. We are stepping into the unknown with Granada, but I think we'll be all right. Would I have picked that team? I think that's the great question I would ask you. What would you have done differently with that team? Diallo is a young boy. People ain't in real world, says Robert McCormack. Well, I tell you what though, Robert McCormack, he's not far off being the same age as Mason Greenwood. You can't, if you're good enough, you're old enough. And he scored in the last round, and he's not played since. So, I'm not saying he's the finished article, but I do think he should have had more game time. Carl Boardman, with all the leaks going to have to get AC12 on the case, and real punch in the teeth for De Gea, says Sebastian. I don't know how you figure that one out. what, starting for United is a punch in the teeth for De Gea? I don't think so. I'm not going to get involved in that. All I ever wanted was fairness in the goalkeeping situation. And I don't think De Gea might be that pissed off, really. Maybe he knows he's going in the summer and now he's got a chance of winning a trophy. To be honest with you, if I was De Gea, I'd rather play in the Europa League than the league anyway, because we're not winning anything in the league, but you might get to win something in the final. Having said that, if we get to the final, both keepers have played Europa League and Premier League, he might pick Henderson in the final. You don't know. I'm sure Manchester Evening News will be pushing polls for that anyway. Real punch in the teeth for De Gea, done that one. Can you wish Josh a happy birthday, another year, and head's getting bigger, says Nathan Lewis. And do you think David will start at the weekend? No, I think it'll be shared out, Harvey Ford now, which I'm quite happy with. Rashford and Lindelof should have a rest. Solskjaer is not the man. He should leave in the summer. If McTominay doesn't play good, he should be ashamed, says Paolo. I am worried about McTominay tonight. I've got to be honest, I am worried about McTominay. Not because I don't like McTominay, but I think McTominay is a box-to-box player. Well, that's what you want Pogba to do. So are we going to make Pogba play deep and let McTominay push forward, which doesn't get the best of Pogba? Or are we going to ask McTominay to shield, which is not the best of him? And also, I can't remember a game where McTominay and Pogba have played well together. Two come to mind where they've started together. I think Palace, definitely in the summer last year, and it was awful. So I'm a little bit worried about McTominay and Pogba. But I think it was inevitable that he was going to mix it up because Fred started at the weekend. Tellez and Diallo in for Shaw and James. Perfect, says Ben. I've got no issue with Luke Shaw starting, actually. I would start Luke Shaw. Hi, Mark. Do you still think Ollie is a good man manager despite the goalkeeper problem and all the recent rumblings from the dressing room, says Armin? Well, I'm starting to doubt it a little bit, Armin, I must admit. But you've got to be a good man manager to do what he did when his job was on the line ahead of that Everton game and to go on that ridiculous run that got us into a title charge at one point. So, you know, I don't think as the person said before, nothing's black and white. I think Solskjaer's done a lot of good this season. But yeah, obviously there's a few things that come out and you think, I don't know whether I agree with that. But no, I think Solskjaer's done a good job this season. Of course, I want him to play a better brand of football. And of course, I want him to rotate a bit. I mean, look, I absolutely disagree with Lindelof and Rashford starting this game. I have the best interests of those players at heart. And I just don't see... And look, people say, oh, Goldbridge thinks he knows more than the medical staff. I'm not party to what the medical staff know, so of course I don't. But I'm also not going to trust the medical staff of United because they've been wrong many times before. And I look at this situation and I think, well, Marcus Rashford wasn't fit before the international break. He wasn't fit in the international break because he got sent home by England. The first game after the international break, he hobbles off with an ankle injury. He had an ankle injury just before the international break. He has 2 days off and he's back starting again for Man United. And we've got a game on Sunday. I'm just like, he cannot be fully fit. He just cannot be fully fit. But we keep playing him. So what my worry is with Rashford is, I don't mind if Rashford was back in England today. I think we've got good enough players to do it without him. I'm sure that 4 or 5 days rest is better than not having any rest at all. But, you know, what do I know? 2-0 win, job done early. Bruno and Rashford off by 60th minute. Rashford knows we need to get the job done. So does Ollie. Gunner enough of the negativity, says Leacham. Nice to see some positivity. Thanks, pal. Do you think game time will help James learn to make better decisions on the ball, says Corbs. You can improve. I don't think he will. Mark, do you think Ollie and Carrick love Scotty's bunny hop, says Rich Smith. I think they love McTominay, yeah. Beto says, should have been Matic on for McTominay and a 4-3-3 with Bruno and Pogba as 8s. Van der Beek off the left instead of Rashford. Interchanging with Pogba and Bruno. I'd love to see that, Beto. Fisticuffs, I don't think Ollie's a great manager. I think he's someone who tries his best to appease everyone, be it the owners, the players or the media. Paulo Ramirez says, I couldn't super chat before. Just wanted to say, hope you're doing good and thanks for the amazing entertaining things you do. My best to you and your family, says Paulo Ramirez. Thank you very much. Are we really going to play Rashford? What's next? Him speeding down the wing in a wheelchair. Shambolic, says Mario Franco. I can't really say anything about this. Rashford will probably score a hat-trick tonight and everything will be absolutely fine. And I hope that is the case. But I do worry about Rashford. It's not that I don't want him to play. We all want him to play. I just worry about his fitness levels because he's not looked right for a very long time. And what irritates me the most about Rashford is that if he has a bad game, everyone's like, Trashford this, Trashford that. And it's like, he has got the ready-made excuse. He clearly hasn't been playing fit for a very long time. So I don't think it does him the world of good sometimes. But he wants to play football. I get that. I've been in that situation at a much lower level. I'm sure we all have. You know, if you're not feeling great on a Wednesday night, but it's five-a-side night, you'll go and play with the flu because you want to play. So I get the player will always want to play. I just think man management needs to be better. And with Lindelof's injured as well. I think it shows Ollie's a desperate coach and doesn't trust the depth of his squad, willing to risk more injury on Rashford than giving other players a chance. I think you might be right there. Emil. I think there is a desperation to win this tournament because he can't get knocked out in another semi-final, even though this isn't a semi-final yet. Rajat says, I'm worried for squad depth last season, and what's the point of having it now if Ollie doesn't make subs or uses players when he can? Belated birthday. Happy belated birthday, Mark, says Rajat. Thank you very much. Mark, I hope you're doing well. Rashford starts again. When will this manager understand that an injury doesn't just disappear? Let's wrap the tie up, says Vignesh. Away goals are going to be important tonight. Hawaii Favo says, Mark, do you think it's possible that Ollie is playing Henderson in the Premier League to showcase his ability with an eye to sell him in the summer and playing David De Gea in the Europa for his experience? I'd rather keep De Gea. We don't know. And actually, respect here for Henderson and respect for De Gea. All I've ever said is they should share the role till the summer and then one of them is get sold. Ollie's got a decision to make. We can make our mind up in the summer. But for now, stability for both goalkeepers is very important. One needs to play in the league, one needs to play in the club. Can you wish my friend Liam Rock happy birthday? His nickname is Pebble. He loves the channel, says Jake Hunt. Thank you very much. Wish all the best to Liam. It's clear as day Ollie has his favourites and doesn't try something new like a Donny or someone else in the centre-backs, says Philip Burtonwood. Mark, why do you support Ollie so much? He's clueless and always makes stupid decisions, says Mark Goldbridge's dog. And hey, Mark Goldbridge, what is your thoughts on us winning the tour? We by far have the best team left, and I think it would be a bottle job if we lose, says Akil. I think you mean the tournament. No, I'm not going to be arrogant about winning the tournaments. I think that, look, Arsenal have played very well when they've played against us. Although they're a mid-table club, they do raise their game against us, or we lower ours, whichever way you want it. I'm not too sure how good Villarreal are. I'm not too sure how Ajax are. So I do think that there are teams out there that could cause us a problem. We are one of the favourites, I would agree. I think we need to go and win it, but I don't think it's easy to win it. Do you think it was important that De Gea started today and not dropping him completely? This is very important for his confidence. Absolutely essential, Salah Ahmed. Absolutely essential. Will good players even consider coming to Man United, considering how seemingly impossible it is to get picked ahead of the regulars for an easy game? It depends who you are, Jonathan. If you're Erling Haaland, you're going to come. If you're Declan Rice, you're going to come. If you're Jadon Sancho, you're going to come. I don't know whether I'd come if I was Basuma. I don't know whether I'd come if I was Pau Torres. I'd be a little bit worried in them situations. But I think it depends who you are and maybe what your passport is. Pogba new contract and signed Declan Rice or signed Varane and Sancho, but no CDM and Pogba leaves. Happy belated birthday, says Callum. I'd probably go with the first option there. Hey Mark, is Ollie winning the Europa League and finish second? Do you think the Glazers will back Ollie? Josh, I can never answer to you whether Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to get backed. It's an impossible question to answer because Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Jose Mourinho 3 years ago, he finished second, and you think, you've got to build upon that. They didn't back him. He was sacked by Christmas. We were replacing him with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. There is a history of this board not backing managers when they do well in relation to the Champions League. So I don't know. With regards to that, it's very difficult to know. So I would hope they're going to back him. They always talk that they're going to back him. But yeah, it's we're going to have to wait and see. We could have a great transfer window. We could have a crap transfer window. We could have a mundane, average transfer window. It's kick-off at 8 o'clock, so we're not quite there yet. Please subscribe, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner, I have got the live counter on the screen, so it does update. So bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. Let's see if we can get to 14,000 tonight. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. And smash a like on the video. Let's see if we can get 5k likes before kick-off. Let's have a bit of fun. It's not a Champions League night. It's a Europa League night, but we're up and we're ready. Let's bring it on, baby. Let's bring it on. With this Zidane kid signing a contract, can we bring back Sir Alex Ferguson? We already have the number 10 pieces of wood to complete the team, says Beto. Ollie has spent more than 300 million. How is that not being back, says Abdullah. But he hasn't spent 300 million, has he? I think I love the way people interpret signings and say he spent 300 million. How much has he sold? How much has he removed? And to be honest with you, it's not how much you've spent, it's how it's been spent and whether we need any more to be spent. Has he had the opportunity to bring in every player that he needs at that club? And people were saying we spent 300 million. Over the years, Pep Guardiola's bought a keeper, not liked him, and had another keeper. He's bought a right back, not liked him. He's bought a right back, not liked him, and then he's had another right back brought in. So there are levels of being backed, and I don't think you can just say, we spent a couple of 100 million, how much more backing does he need? I think that team needs 300 million on it now. I think Arsenal need 500 million on it. So people can go, it's a ridiculous amount of money, but it is what it is. If you need 6 or 7 players to improve your team, you need about 500 million for it, don't you? So you can't just chuck, he's had money. He needs a lot more. And I think everybody agrees with that. Score predictions to Spritly. Yeah, let's do the score predictions. Interested to see what people have got to say about that. Hi Mark, do you think we have a bigger chance of getting Rice if Chelsea don't get top 4? I think Ben Thornton, it depends if Chelsea want him. Do you think Rashford will be a liability tonight due to his injury, says Dougie? No, I think he must. It's very difficult with injuries because when a manager says, I don't think he's a 90-minute player, that's sort of a load of bollocks, It's not true. There's no such thing as he can only play 90 minutes, he can only play 45 minutes. That's about fitness. That's more about a player that comes back from 4 or 5 weeks out. I didn't want to say it at the time, but it makes sense to say it now. If Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is saying, I don't think Rashford's a 90-minute game, we'll have to see whether he starts or he comes off the bench. That's a load of crap. Because Marcus Rashford is fit. He's been playing non-stop for months. He's not fit. It's the injury. When somebody says, he can only last 45 minutes, what they mean is their fitness levels mean they can only last 45 minutes. And I'm talking real fitness. I'm talking you're going to get tired. Marcus Rashford's carrying pain injuries. He's carrying a knock to his ankle. I don't think there's any reason why Rashford can't play 90 minutes tonight, because it's not like he's going to get to an hour and go, I'm tired. What might happen is when he's running around, the pain levels go up to a certain point that he can't play anymore. But that's possible. I used to get it with shin splints years ago because I played too much football when I was 15 on hard surfaces and I ended up with shin splints. And it's a horrible injury because you can play for a certain amount of times and then it becomes unbearable. So I found myself like I'd play for about 45 minutes and have to come off at half time because it was so bad. Maybe Rashford's got an injury like that where he can play with the pain, but the pain killers or whatever they've given him wear off. I don't know, but it won't be a lack of fitness in relation to we can only play 45 minutes. That's not the sort of injury we're dealing with here. Apart from a lack of trust and favouritism, do you think there are any other reasons why Ollie does not utilise the squad and give Ahmed and Van der Beek game time? Says Arman. Score predictions we'll go through. I think that somebody said it already. I don't actually have the reason why he won't rotate the squad, and I'll be even-handed with this. It's not just Ahmed. It's not just Van der Beek. It's Wan-Bissaka playing every game. It's Twansebi getting no game time when Lindelof's got a bad back. So I think it's fear. I don't want to sit on the bench. So if you're asking me why he doesn't change the team, I think it's fear. I think he wants to he said it in the press conference yesterday. I look at every game and look at how I win that game. And I think he does look at every game and how he wins that game, which is quite short-termism. I think he looks at it and goes, I need to pick my strongest team to win this game. Are they fit enough to play? Well, they are fit enough to play, but there's a risk. I'll play them. And I think that's what he does game to game. He doesn't look at Thursday night and go, well, Lindelof's needed for Spurs. I'm not going to play him. Rashford really shouldn't play this game. Let's have him fit for Spurs. It's take every game as a time. And I think Solskjaer's been honest about that, to be fair. He always says it's about the next game. And I think he plays a team to win the game. And I don't think he'd play a player injured, but I think he will risk a player who's got, at a risk level. Soldado is starting for Granada. Easy night for Maguire and Lindelof. We are an amazing side. The good times are on the up, says Ados. Could have rested Lindelof tonight and gave Twansebi a run. Rashford has been run into the ground also. Looked off the pace at times this weekend. I'd love to have seen Twansebi start. I thought Lindelof was atrocious at the weekend as well. I mean, we talk about rotation. We talk about Lindelof's injury. He was also crap at the weekend. It's not just the fact that he's carrying an injury. He's crap. He was crap at the weekend. So you can trust Twansebi against Mbappe and Neymar in the autumn, but you can't trust him against Soldado to give Lindelof a rest. Riddle me that. Riddle me that. And we know how good Neymar and Mbappe are. We saw them last night. But you can trust Twansebi to play against those two, but you can't trust him to play in any other game. Weird. It is weird. Seeing Bellingham playing at the Champions League quarter-final, I now understand why he chose Dortmund over United, says the auditor. Apology if you've covered it already, Mark, but have you seen Zorc's comments about having to write off another 80 million, hinting at players to sales recoup, says Dan. I haven't looked at it, Dan. I'll probably cover it in the morning show, to be honest. There's a few transfer stories to discuss tomorrow morning. I think you should add the subs above the lineup, says Fro. No way. That's a stupid idea. They've got 10 subs, mate. Like, literally, the whole screen will be covered in subs. There's no point. No point. The lineup shows our staff and manager are amateur, says Matt Ashcroft. And Lindelof is not good enough, he never will be, says Murad. And that's because Ollie was desperate for the PSG and had to play Twansebi. Now he's not forced to do it, says Samson Jack. He was forced to play Twansebi, that's why, says What's Up Snackbox. Lindelof has been crap since we signed him. I think Lindelof's played well at times, but he was poor at the weekend. It's not a good idea to put subs above the screen because there's about 10 of them. All right, let's put... Drawty, we want subs on the screen. Where are you going to put them then? Where are they going to go? Where are we going to put 10 subs, the size of those players so you know who they are? Where are we going to put them? Answers on a postcard. Where are we going to put them? Should we put them above the score over there that's not context, no context at all? They've got to be next to this lot. Where are we going to put 10 subs? Because that's how many there is. I am planning to do a bit of Grand Theft Auto tonight at 11, yes. And also, I don't want the subs on because I like to just swap the subs on. I'm not a fan of putting the subs on. Maybe we should have a poll, but I don't agree with that. I think the subs are... I think subs schmubs. I'm not a fan of the subs. I've never been that interested in the subs. I know why you want the subs on the screen because you're just trying to find a way to get Van der Beek involved, aren't you? Actually, let's get the subs on. If Ollie's not going to pick if Ollie's not going to pick Van der Beek and Diallo, we are. Let's just get Amad Diallo and Van der Beek somewhere just to make Amad in, Diallo in. Van der Beek in. Let's go. Could Rashford have been played as a striker? James on the left side and Greenwood on the right, says Abane. Ollie out, one of the worst managers I've ever manned, destroying my club. Look, you've got to be really careful. I've said this to you, mate, so many times. You've got to be really careful because people start moaning about the team and then the team news comes out and it's not actually that bad. The team comes out and they actually play... we end up playing quite well. So I'm not going to go to town on the way that the team that we've selected because we might come out and play absolutely fantastic. In which case, what have we been moaning about? You know what I mean? Hi, quick question. What are you having for tea? I've had it, Rocco. Had like a buffet tea, like pork pie and sandwiches and all sorts of stuff. It was very, very nice. So yes, I've had my tea already. It's coming up for 8 o'clock here. Well, actually, it's not 8 o'clock. It's 17 minutes past 8. And the kickoff is at 8 o'clock. To the Ollie inner from earlier, it's more nuanced than you are allowing. There is more than just league position that we are looking at. Second shouldn't ever be good enough for starters, says Southpaw of Sports. And Zane says, come on, Granada. Well, there are other games tonight, aren't there, as well? Let me just bring that into the equation. We do need to keep an eye on what's going on in the other games. They all kick off at the same time. Ajax against Roma, Dinamo Zagreb against Villarreal, and Arsenal against Slavia Prague. So there are other games going on tonight, and one of the Europa League winners will come from those 8 sides. If Dan James and McTominay count as half a player, then we can get Diallo and Van der Beek on, says Kean Griffin. And be 11 o'clock tonight, Grand Theft Auto, David Murray, that's normal. Mark, Solskjaer needs to say top players, they should sit games out. This game will only hinder Rash's injuries. Ollie is so naive, that's Daniel Kirk. I cannot be anything other than honest and say that there is a big issue in relation to Solskjaer's man management about player rotation. He doesn't rotate enough. He doesn't. Now, Pep Guardiola, you never know what he's going to do. He might have Aguero and Jesus on the bench. He might play one of them. He might rest De Bruyne. He might put Sterling on the bench. He might put Mahrez on the bench. He's got an abundance of quality. but he will rotate. He might put Laporte on the bench, he might put Stones on the bench, he might put Diaz on the bench. He will rotate because he's got confidence in his players to come in. To me, this is an oddity because Solskjaer will not rotate his team, which means he'd rather play injured players than pick from his squad. Now, the weird thing is, all right, Twansebe's from the youth, he's inherited him, maybe he doesn't fancy him, so he picks Lindelof, fine, okay. I don't agree, but there you go. But Van der Beek was his signing. He doesn't trust him. He won't use him. So that's odd. You spent £35 million on a player that you won't use. You won't use him. Diallo, you spent £35 million on a player, you won't use him. So Brandon Williams, last season you were using him, now you won't use him. There are others as well. So he doesn't rotate his squad. He just doesn't do it. And I think it's fear. I think it's a fear factor. I think that when Pochettino was linked to the job just before the Everton game back in the autumn, he almost went into survival mode there. And it was like, I'm going to rely on a select few players and I'm going to grind out results. And that's what we've been doing all season, which is why I hope we start playing some good football, but we'll see. Zane, do you need your bottle? Ober isn't starting, says Fraught MUFC. And hi Mark, who is Alanga? I haven't had the time to follow the youngsters, so I'm clueless. Could you please enlighten me? Says Adit Singh. So he's an attacker. He can play through the middle, can play off the wing, very quick. But look, I think there's no issue with that. There's no issue with that. When it comes to the young players, what do I always say? Great to keep an eye on them. Great to, hope that they're going to come through. But until they hit the first team, there's not really much to learn anyway, because first team football in men's football is very different to under 23s or under 18s. Obviously, that gives them a platform, and there will be players that you hear about. And I hope Alanga turns out to be good. I hope a few of them turn out to be good, but it doesn't mean that they will do. Could end up playing at Port Vale in a couple of years. You just don't know. It's what you do in the first team. Marcus Rashford was actually not tipped to be a United first teamer. His chance came up. We were picking bloody Michael Keane's brother before. People forget this about Rashford, and it was the Europa League. Martial got injured, so we started Will Keane. Where's Will Keane now? I don't even know. We started Will Keane, he got injured, Rashford came on, and the rest is history. Rashford was not tipped to be a star of the first team, but he took his opportunity. Again, McTominay, no one was really talking about McTominay. McTominay's now in the first team. So just, you've got to be very careful about the youth team. There's some fantastic players in there. We had Charlie Savage, Robbie Savage's son, signing a new contract the other day. Doesn't really get massive amount of mentions compared to people like Hugel and Shera T-Ray and Hannibal and Charlie McNeil. But there might be 4 or 5 other players in that youth setup, good players, who come through and make it and the others don't. You've just got to... All I'd ever say to some of our younger players is we've got so many exciting talents, but you've just got to work your arse off. Absolutely work your arse off. And don't ever think you've made it. And I think that runs through United's youth system anyway, which is why we've been so good at producing young players over the years, because even if you don't succeed at United, you tend to go off and be successful elsewhere. Laka will show Haaland how it's done. Laka hat-trick, says Zayn Miasi. And I know we want Twansebi and like him, but do people not remember how awful it was playing him against the Turkish side in the Champions League, says Polat. Yeah, but you know what? He wasn't particularly good in that game, but he was world class against Neymar and Mbappe. He was fantastic on loan for Aston Villa. So we can all pick out a bad performance. Lindelof's on my TV screen now. Absolutely shit last weekend. Starts today. No one's batting an eyelid. So Lindelof has played well, but he's starting again for United. There's never any accountability with Lindelof. Is it favouritism because Lindelof's Swedish and Ollie's Norwegian? I don't know. But I think Twansebi, all right, you can pick out a bad performance for him. There's not many centre-backs that pocket Neymar and Mbappe like he did. He was brilliant that night. I think it's sort of similar to Diallo. Diallo comes on, scores an important goal in the Europa League, doesn't get any more game time. So there is an inconsistency there. There is a right to query it. Solskjaer's probably got a very good reason for it that we're not aware of, but there's a right to query it. Of course there is. There are certain players in this United team that can play absolutely shit and still start. There are certain players in this team that can play absolutely brilliantly and will get dropped. Eric Bailly's had some very good games this season. Gets dropped for Lindelof if Lindelof's fit. Ollie's got his favourites. Most managers have got their favourites, but I think that when you're looking to aspire to something, and David Moyes got into trouble for saying this, but unfortunately it's become true. David Moyes says we aspire to be like Manchester City. Well, to be honest with you, I hate to say it, but do we not? Are they not the bench setters now? They've got an amazing squad. They rotate that squad. I know we want Twansebi and Light. We've done that one. Welcome to the Members Club, the fuzzy one, and welcome to Godab Saka. Thank you very much for joining. Daniel Kirk says, Mark, Solskjaer needs to say top players they should sit down. I've done that one. Nick P says, stop the press narrative change on BT Sports. Scholes now saying don't write De Gea off, and he's been our saviour down the years. Henderson, lot to prove. I wonder if they've been listening, Nick. I wonder if they've been listening, because they have driven that De Gea thing. So, you know, or maybe they've just woken up to the fact that no agenda was ever required. I'm very happy with the situation now. I'm very happy with it. I mean, I'm just looking at the semi-final, actually. I didn't realise, I'd totally forgotten. If we get through Granada, we're going to play Ajax or Roma. That's going to be really tough. Arsenal will probably play Villarreal. Maybe Ajax in the semi-final. That'll be massive, won't it? So, you know, you talk about the goalkeeping situation. If we beat Granada, which we should do, you're going to get 2 games against Ajax or Roma. There's 4 really good games for the goalkeeper there, isn't there? And you'd fancy that. What's my score prediction, Sam? I'm sticking with 2-0. Yeah, I'm going to stick with 2-0. I think it will be 2-0. I'm not going to move away from that. Paul Bancroft loves the United stand. Make sure you smash a like on the video, everyone. Let's see if we can hit 5,000 likes before kickoff. And please subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. But yeah, I'm going to go 2-0. Granada, to me, are totally and utterly unpredictable. They are. They're very unpredictable. But I still think that Manchester United should be all right. And also, you've got to see tonight. I'm going to say it right now. Clip it if it happens. Tonight's the night Mason Greenwood announces himself on the European stage. It's not the same as Mbappe or Haaland because they're in the Champions League. But I think tonight's the night. I've been waiting for this game for a long time. Mason Greenwood at number 9 with some service. I've been waiting this for a long time. At some point it's going to happen. Could tonight be the night for Mason Greenwood to hit that back of the net on the European stage? And, you know, maybe stake a claim to go to the Euros. So I'm looking forward to Mason Greenwood tonight. I think a very, very important player. Dan James, look, if I'm Dan James tonight and I'm Bruno Fernandes, I'm telling Dan, get down the flank and put some bloody crosses into the box. Don't try and do tiki-taka with me. Get down the wing, put some crosses into the box. That's all you want from Dan James today. Simple, limited, meep. And look, I've got Dan James on my Newcastle career mode, and that's what I do with him. Stick on the right-hand side, get at your full-back. If there's an angle to run in towards goal and get a shot, great. If not, put a cross in. Simple as that. And if there's nothing on, play a simple pass to a better player. Diane Tawawadi, welcome to the Members Club. Mark, we've been linked to the Porto manager is the new young Mourinho. He will make us great again, says Miasi. Every manager's making you great again. Every centre-back's making you solid again. Every striker's going to take you to the title again. I've been listening to this for 15 years. You're like UK Gold. Never change it. You never change it. It's just on repeat. Every new manager's going to make you great. You're going to get a new owner who's going to outspend City. And the one thing that's consistent about Arsenal is you're shit. To be honest with you, Zane, that's the truth. And I want to see you back on the top, but we're not back on the top. So you just got to get real. Like United fans are real. We're not back where we need to be. We're in a better position than you, but we're not back. We're not back where we need to be. And it's not as easy as that now. It's not as easy as... A lot of people want Solskjaer gone. If Solskjaer goes and we get the best manager out there, we've still got loads of work ahead of us. So Man United and Arsenal are in a very similar situation. We're both in the Europa League. It's not where we want to be. We've got to win the tournament. But we're miles away from where we should be. And it's a long, long way back. Ollie wants to put this to bed in the first leg and rest players in the second leg. Norwegians don't favour Swedes, says Pay Foyne. Okay, I've been put in my place there. He sat me down there. But I don't think we want to put this game to bed in the first leg. I don't agree with that. I think we will be putting a team out that's strong in both. If I'm being honest with you, I actually think that Solskjaer would happily drop some points in the Premier League if it meant that we go forward in the Europa League. I think the Europa League is almost becoming the priority now. Now, I don't really want to say it because it'll upset the people with the agenda about the goalkeeping situation. But I do think that we are getting to that point now where Solskjaer is absolutely adamant that he needs to win a trophy. And I think the Premier League is now starting to become a second-rate tournament for Manchester United. That the fact that we've already got top 4, I think that might be what we're looking to do. So we'll see about that one. But I don't know why that's not working there. I'm trying to get Flex on, so just bear with me. So yeah, good points. Anyway, Mark, I'd love United to sign Basuma cheaper than Rice and would ruin our midfield, but I'm worried he may not start him ahead of McFred. Fred Armin, good point. Do you think Ahmed Donny van de Beek deals came with big add-ons like minutes played or goals in first season, and Ollie's been told to hold back? I would hope not, Jack. That would be ridiculous because that's about being a business and not a football club. Banter aside, Zayn and Mark are actually good buds, says the yellow bathing suit, and feeling confident with the lineup 3-0 to United, says Gurab. Good positivity there. Nice, like to see that. Definitely like to see that. Lewis Webb says, why do people think Ollie will play a different style of football next season? He's got a better squad than we had last year, but it's the same crap. He needs to win some fans back before the summer by playing better football. And I want to see some better football tonight. I really do want to see some better football tonight. And I hope that we can do that. But I sort of agree with you as well that it's not a given that that's going to happen, is it? There is no excuses not to play good football. You've got Paul Pogba in the midfield. You've got Bruno Fernandes there. You've got Marcus Rashford. You've got Mason Greenwood. There are players there that can play good football. But it comes from the manager. That's where it comes from. It comes from the manager. So let's see if we can get that delivered tonight, because I think it's really important that we do. He might not be here yet. Untangle my earpiece. Yeah, I'm going 2-0. 2-0 to the Manchester Reds. I used to work with somebody who was quite old, actually. He used to come in and say, what's the score? What was the score with the Manchester Reds at the weekend? Did they win? I used to say, yes, we're the best in the world. Oh, you know when you tangle up your headphones, and you should have done it before you came live. Solskjaer said himself that we should look on the point score in the Premier League for improvement, so they better not fall asleep now in the Premier League. Yeah, but we're very close to going past and beyond what we achieved anyway, aren't we? So let's see what happens with that one, really. But we're very close to going past that. There he is. Got him. Let me get him on our screen. You should be able to hear him in a minute, but I can't, so give me 1 minute and we'll get Flex on. Thanks everyone for watching, by the way. Smash a like on the video and make sure you subscribe, bottom right hand corner. United Stand Picks, link in the video description. If you've already downloaded it, play it. £1,000 cash prize pot in there. And you must be over 18 to play, but it is free to enter. Can you hear me, Flex? I can't hear you. I am in Discord, so should be able to hear me. Hello? Oh, it's not working, is it? Oh, I've got it now. Oh, it's not detecting it. Can you hear me?
I'm in. I can hear you, yeah.
Oh, I can hear you now, yeah. I don't know what was.
But you're not in the. You got to get in the Discord.
Live technical issues. You get the visual and you don't get the audio. Fantastic. Oh.
Can't hear you on Discord, but I can hear you through the video, but it's a little bit delayed.
I can hear you on the Discord now. I don't know what it was doing. Don't know what's going on here. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can only hear you through the video.
It's weird. You're frozen on my screen now.
It is weird.
But I've not changed anything on this. I've not changed anything on Discord, so it should work.
Yeah, same. Do you want to just take it out for a sec, see if we get it going? That is weird. I don't get it.
Well, everyone can hear you in the live comments, and they can hear both of us. So, and I can hear you in my earpiece, so that's fine.
All right, I'm responding to you on the video, so let's just go with that.
Yeah, let's go with that then. Okay, so what's your thoughts on the team news? Start off with that.
I was very vocal in saying that we have to go strong. I've seen Ollie go with, trying to make changes and make a change here, make a change there. I'm done with that. It's the busiest end of the season. And I think a lot of people were saying to me today, oh, we got Spurs on the weekend, save Luke Shaw. And, they battered us 6-1. And I don't care about that 6-1 right now, to be honest. Yes, it was embarrassing at the time, but look where we are and look where they are. And also look what happens as soon as Ollie tries to, afford players a rest or try and change it tactically or change the shape or change this, change that. This so far, this isn't even progress point. This is the quarterfinals. What's the semi-finals of the Europa League last year? We got to get it done. I'm saying play the strongest team. I understand the Rashford situation. I did say that. I wasn't really happy with that situation. But other than that, I've got no problems. Play Luke Shaw, play Pogba, play Bruno. Similar to the Sociedad game, if you get a positive result, then, second leg, then you can rest a few. But I'm not having this whole, play the strongest team, make a few changes because, Luke Shaw needs to play. Put Tellez in against Spurs. I don't care about that. That's how I see it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, just in relation to the... I think I might have sorted this now. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now. There you go.
Fucking change my thing, then knobhead.
I was thinking I haven't changed anything. What's going on?
No, I changed my audio to go through my bloody game capture card. That's useful, isn't it? It's not even got a bloody microphone. Be quieter than bloody Maguire as captain. But no, just a joke. But yeah, I mean, look, a lot of people said they're not happy with the rotation of the squad. Do you have any issues from that point of view that he could have rotated it, specifically Rashford, Lindelof?
Yeah, no, the Rashford situation, I get it. Like, I just saw some quotes from Ollie saying, he's a little bit sore, but I've got no, I think he's fine and stuff. Look, we know what's going on with Rashford. He keeps getting played way too much. So that is a concern. That was the only one I was saying, okay, fair enough. I understand dropping Rashford. De Gea is not a rotation. I think he should be the number one anyway, but whoever plays, that's fine. But for the back four, whenever he doesn't play Luke Shaw, which people I don't think always realise, whenever he doesn't play Luke Shaw, either we get a bad result or an even worse performance, or Luke Shaw ends up having to come on. And I just think, just play him. We've gone past this thing with Luke Shaw of, manage him. He's in the form of his life. He's in the fitness of his life. And this is a more important game to me than Spurs on the weekend. Like someone said on Twitter, and I 100% agree with them, we're not fighting for fourth right now. Don't get me wrong, you can't be too up your own arse and think you got it sewn up. I get it. But like we said last week, when Chelsea lost to West Brom and we beat Brighton, that was almost the nail in the coffin to get that gap that we need. We can go and draw to Spurs if we make a couple of changes. It's fine. Do you know what I mean? But the fact is, when Ollie makes changes in these key games, semi-final games I'm talking about, quarter-final games, it goes wrong. And I'm not here for it anymore. I just want the right team, play your best players, worry about Spurs on Sunday. If Luke Shaw's tired, then rest him. I won't moan if we got a 3-0 lead or 3-1 lead or whatever it is. Go and get the job done tonight. Rest players in the second leg.
Interesting. Just on Ollie tonight as well. I mean, what's your? I mean, I've got to ask you. I mean, we spoke about it so much at the weekend. De Gea goalkeeping situation. Does that provide us with a little bit of clarity now there?
I think so. I think he. But then you know what? Alex on the fan forum made a good point. At this stage of the season, obviously De Gea should be playing more because if here and there anyway in them big games.
Cool.
Don't
Okay.
know where I'm gone. Oh, I'm back now.
Yeah, sorry. I was trying to mess something about. I don't know whether Drawty's watching, but he gave me a code to make it better, and now it doesn't work. So I don't know what's going on with it tonight.
It's come back on now. Should be alright.
No, I took the code out.
Right. Okay.
Let me have a quick look. See if Ollie said anything before the game. He normally does.
Yeah, he said something about Rashford's injury, saying it's a little bit sore. But I've got no. I knew I had to play him basically. So.
Yeah, so Rashford, he says he's okay, a little bit sore, but he's not worried about the injury at all. There was no doubt in my head about playing. See,
that's mad. That's mad.
That's throwing onto the player. I just don't get this. He says he's okay, a little bit sore, but he's not worried about the injury. Like, I said this before you came on. If I've got five-a-side on Wednesday night and I've got a bloody... I'm feeling a bit like I've got the flu, I'm still having a Beecham's and going down and playing. Like, I'm sure my doctor would say, you're an idiot, you're going to pay for that tomorrow, but I'm going to go and play. You can't trust the player on their fitness, surely.
Nah, especially a player as, I'm not going to say dishonest as Marcus Rashford, I mean, but a player who honestly wants to play, if you get what I'm saying. Loves football, never going to rule himself out, bleeds Man United, all for the club. Look, even when he's injured, remember when he put out that tweet, he said, I'm injured, guys, with a double stress fracture in my back, but don't worry, I'm going to be in the team meetings, I'm going to be in the stadium, England duty, he still went down to be with the boys. Like, this is Marcus Rashford, he's a proper pro, like he wants to play ball. So I have no kind of, resentment towards or whatever. The player goes, I'm fine, I'm good. So I'm saying that you can't leave it to the player. But Ollie's saying, yeah, he says he's sore and stuff like that, but I knew I had to play him. That's just telling us what we all already know, which is the fact that he's almost indispensable. He's got to keep playing. And that is a worry for me. But, Ollie was already saying, he probably won't get 90, he can only do the 60. So I'm like, boy, if you can only do the 60, you're already limited. You're saying he's not there yet. If you can rest him. But as long as he doesn't play the 90, because let's not forget this. Ollie told us he can't play 90. But let's not act like he never said that.
I've already said that. I don't agree with that, because I think the only way you can't play 90 minutes is if you're coming back from being out for a long time. If you've got a bad ankle, you play or you don't play. You play 90 minutes or you don't play, do you? It's not like the more you run around on it, the more it's going to hurt. I've got to come off. That means you shouldn't have played in the first place. So I think you could play 90, really, hopefully.
I don't know. Unless there's been Ollie got it wrong, because he was saying that more like 60 minutes, and he's gone from 60 to 90 just like that, and now he's starting. So I don't know whether it's Marcus going, listen, Ollie, I don't care, I'm fine, stop going on about it. I can see that. I can imagine him saying, Marcus, how you feeling? And him just going, I'm fine. And stop asking, I'm fine.
Rashi, how are you doing?
Do you know what I mean? I've got the media on me. How you doing?
Jonathan says he's going to ruin his career. I mean, look, we'll see. If Rashford had a broken leg, he still want to play, says Nicholas. There is absolutely no issue with the player wanting to play, by the way. There's nothing.
No,
I
would
make
that clear.
To play. If I'm Marcus Rashford tonight and he says, I'm thinking about playing Yarashi, how do you feel? I'm like, screw that, I'm going to go and play. That's the whole bloody point. That's what you want to do. What's your score prediction for tonight, Flex? Just had a question coming in from Jones 2 there. And hopefully get the job done, then take him off, says Ash Little.
Yeah, I did go 2-1 in our little predictor table thing, but now I've seen how strong we that was because I thought he might make changes, even though I didn't think he should. I think we'll get a clean sheet. I'm going to go 2-0.
I've gone 2. You seem to go the same with me as a lot. 2-0. Great.
Is that what you said? 2-0.
Yeah, I did, yeah.
Yeah, 2-0.
Solskjaer said about De Gea, of course, David wants to play every game, but especially here in Spain, I'm sure he wants to play and show that he's a top keeper. And he said, we've had a rest over the international break and got a few players back, and we feel this is a team to get us a good result to take back to Manchester. Rotation, no Van der Beek, no Diallo. Fred comes out for McTominay. No Twansebi for Lindelof. Wan-Bissaka plays again. Twansebi could have played at right back. Williams could have played at right back. Talks about a big squad. Does it matter if he's got a big squad when he's not really ever going to make any changes anyway?
No, exactly.
We know. I know. McTominay for Fred. Wow. You've been using those 2 all season. They're your trusted players. You'd play them both if you bloody could. So you're only not playing one because you've got to pick Pogba, which is right. But really, he talks about a big squad, but the rotation's never been there, has it? Really?
No, not the proper rotation. When you're talking like Donny coming in, Tellez has come in here or there. Like I said on the not the fan forum, I think it was a Sunday show that was on Monday. I was like, we're pretty much playing with the same team as last year. It's not really, apart from
There's certainly
we're playing with the same team.
There's no Europa League team and a Premier League team, is there?
No, not at all. Not at all. Why? But you know what, Mark? I do commend Ollie on that because it ain't good enough under this regime. Whether you want to say another manager would be able to get that whole thing going, an A team and a B team or a cup team and a league team, or pretty much, we ain't good enough. Like I said, that's the whole reason why I'm saying, you know what, Ollie, fair enough. I can see where we're at under you, which is positive in some areas and leaving a lot to be desired for in other areas with the inconsistency. But one thing I do know is I will not get onto him for saying, you know what, I'm just going to play my best team, because I ain't got it like that. Kind of like a bit FIFA career mode, make changes in your cup game and get booted out. And I've learned, I'm like, nah, I'm just going to play the team. It's like that. You can't make the changes, mate. Just play the team. Play the team, get it done.
Do you have any fears tonight across the 2 legs that we will mess this up at all? Or, I mean, it's very hard with Granada, isn't it? I don't. Yeah, what I'm thinking is that they're probably going to be a technical Burnley. But I don't know. I don't think they're a threat.
Yeah, that might be being. Yeah, exactly. That might be being presumptuous. They could play some really good football. I know they're not on a good run as well. And it's their first ever. This is their first ever European quarter-final, isn't it? I saw.
Yeah.
So, and their fans.
They've been promoted a couple of years ago, I think.
Exactly. I think it was only this year, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So but we can't just go in there thinking we should wipe the floor with them. Yes, you can predict a win because you back your team and, with the players that we have. I don't think that's rude to expect us to be able to put in a performance and go win the game. But that is always to do with the application of the players. If they don't turn up and are sloppy and poor in possession and think they've won before they've even got on the field, then that's lack of professionalism and it's going to bite you in the arse. And Granada are going to be hungry, so we've got to go there, dominate, play good football, and we got to get that early. It doesn't have to be early, that's a bonus, but we've got to get the first goal. We've got to get the first goal and take any form of positivity or confidence that they may have. So to answer your question, I'm not over 2 legs. I think surely, could be my famous last words, surely we ain't going to mess this up over 2 legs. I'm not saying something bad can't happen tonight or might get an underwhelming 1-1 or something, which even then, we're still winning. But over 2 legs now, we've got to be all right in this. That's why I'm saying play the team, Ollie, and he has done that. So there's no excuses now.
Scholes just said Pogba's best position is left wing. That's from Bay Ones. I don't know whether that's true or not. I'm sure somebody in the live comments can confirm that. What's your reaction to that one then?
My reaction is what you just said there. I don't know whether that's true. Someone needs to confirm that. Surely he hasn't said that. His best position is left wing, as in an actual left winger, not inside left channel of a midfield 3 playing further forward. He means actual left wing, as in where Marcus Rashford plays, where we've been shoehorning in Paul Pogba just to give him a game on the right and on the left. Nah, I know he came on against AC Milan. The thing is with Paul Pogba is, right, you have to look at it. Yeah. Oh my God, the best. Nah,
the amazing thing about that is that Paul Scholes is one of the best midfielders of the Premier League era, and Sven-Göran Eriksson ruined his England career by putting him on the left wing. And then he comes out and says Paul Pogba's best position's on the wing. I mean, this is what I mean about footballers. Genius in their feet doesn't mean genius in their opinion. Their opinion's just the same as yours. And I think Scholes talks a lot of sense, as does Gary Neville. as does Rio Ferdinand, but it doesn't mean that they're going to get it right a lot of the time. And they contradict themselves as much as anybody else, but that's a massive contradiction if that's true. Paul Pogba's best position is on the left wing, and yet Scholes had to retire from international football because he got put on the left wing. Pogba's probably the closest thing we've had to Scholes since he retires in relation to the ability to ping a ball 40 yards forward in the air.
Yeah, of course. I don't like I was going to say. The thing is with Pogba is that I think he might be getting away with isolated moments there. Like when he came on against AC Milan and played on the left wing, and he's played there a couple of times, he's done a job. Like he changed the game when he came on because that was just the type of game that it was. But to say someone's best position is somewhere, that means you're saying that they should play there all the time, in no matter what the team is, no matter who they play against. That's not Pogba's
think he played particularly well against Milan. He changed the game because he won the game, but he is. It's a bit like having bloody Leonardo DiCaprio in your film and just giving him a bloody side role, isn't it? You want a main role for DiCaprio, and
you need the main thing, exactly.
Paul Pogba needs to be conducting the thing. He needs to be in the middle. It's like putting Bruno at right back. Get them in the middle of the pitch. That's where he needs to be.
Yeah, and because they're good players, they can affect the game from near enough anywhere because they're really good. Then it's almost like, click your fingers. I should just play there all the time. No, you're not going to get the best out of him there.
Paul Pogba's best position, and I've said it for a long time. I mean, I'm not Pogba FC, but I'm definitely not sell Pogba. I like Pogba. I'm fully aware of his inadequacies and inconsistencies. But as a fan of Paul Pogba, he is definitely best in the centre circle. He's physical. He's over 6 foot. He can dribble. He can hit a 40-yard pass. He can score from outside the box. He can score from inside the box. You put him on the edge of the box as a 10, you lose his passing range and physicality. You get him as a CDM, you lose his ability to get into the box. He's a box-to-box player centrally. That's where the best you get out of Paul Pogba, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. Or in a midfield three, like what a lot of people have said, like he did at Juventus, where that's what I thought what Scholes would have meant. Like, not actually left midfield, but left of a midfield three without a number 10.
Maybe that's what he did say, left midfield. But a lot of people in live comments are saying left midfield. I presume he means like the AC Milan, but I don't agree with that. And he has played there this season, but I mean, look, the downside is you play McFred. I don't ever want to see them again.
No, I just. It's like you. I know you always say the Duracell bunnies. Look, we've won some big games with McTominay and Fred playing. In certain games, in certain moments of the game, if you want, it can work. Against City, if you want to just work really hard. But when do we evolve from that to say, against City, I want to be playing my best players. I don't just want to be stifling City and having to go on a counter. I know we've got good results from it, but if we're really serious about trying to get back to the top, you have to get your best players playing in the biggest games, which is what City do game in, game out. And it's what Liverpool did do before they messed up this season. So, yeah, I don't want to see McTominay and Fred as a basis to go forward. It's just certain games or certain moments of the games it might work.
Would you spend 150 on Haaland this summer or the same on Rice and Sancho, says Saraz? And also, playing devil's advocate, if Pogba leaves on a free could be the shock owners need. We always say that kick them where it hurts, which is their wallets. This guy kicks as well as after him. I'm just going to pop to talk, just in relation to the game, before we go back to that, I just want to ask you this while I'm just gone. With regards to the midfield today, we've seen Fred and Pogba. I think they've done quite well. We've seen plenty of McFred. We've seen Matic and Pogba. That's done okay, but Matic has been very unreliable. We've not seen a lot of McTominay and Pogba. And to be fair, every time I remember them playing, it hasn't worked. Big game for McTominay. How do you feel about that pair tonight?
Yeah, I'm optimistic about it. I know I keep saying don't disrespect the level of opposition, but. They should be able to dominate proceedings along with Bruno if he actually plays in midfield. Bruno's a second striker, but I don't mind it. The problem is that when you actually think about all of our midfield pairings, which one of them really works? Like we were screaming for ages, it's Pogba and Fred, it's Pogba and Fred. Well, it was Pogba and Fred against Brighton. Look how we performed. It was Pogba and Fred against Fulham. I remember. Look how we performed. And I remember saying in that game, I was excited. I always use this as an example because before the game, I was very excited to think Pogba Fred. That's by me. That's what we should be doing. And we didn't really have a massive control over the game. Yes, Pogba with the individual brilliance, left foot outside the box, what a strike. conceded first. Cavani got us back into it, but we never dominated the midfield. Then after the Pogba rocket, Fulham had chances. Fulham had chances. So I don't see any of our midfield pivots being the one. You know what I mean? Sirius question. I read that one already. And Diwal says, get a good CDM, and then you get to see the world-class range of players like Pogba, Fernandes, and Rashi. But somehow only the fans can see that. Yeah, well, exactly. We need a CDM. That's what I was just saying there, Diwal. It doesn't matter who plays, whether it's Pogba, Fred, Pogba, Matic, Pogba, McTominay, Fred, McTominay, Fred, Matic, McTominay. It doesn't matter. Like, it never seems to be good enough, which is why you got to talk about how we play football, the coaching, and then it's a whole different argument, which we could be here for hours talking about that. But that tells me everything. So to see McTominay starting today, don't mind it at all. He's going to give you energy. You know what you're going to get with McTominay. I've always said he's not an out-and-out CDM. He's not an out-and-out protector. He's not an out-and-out destroyer. I think he's an out-and-out box-to-box player. I really do. That's what I think with Scott McTominay. But he's perfectly capable of putting in a good performance today. But I just like how strong Solskjaer's gone. I can't hide it, man, because a lot of people, I couldn't get over this whole we got Spurs on the weekend. So what? Like, you ask a Spurs fan, would they trade their 6-1 to be where we are second? Or would you rather be 7th or 8th, wherever they are?
He's a prat.
You are? Oh,
I'm back.
You didn't hear me. What did you say about Van der Beek's a prat? What?
Oh no, I didn't realise that was heard. I was just talking to Maddie. She said he's Van der Beek.
And you said to Maddie, no, he didn't pick Van der Beek. He's a prat.
Yeah. Sorry. Well, I mean, I do agree with that. To be honest, I do agree with that. But I'm not surprised. I sort of said it in a. Well, I'm not. I'm not. But of course, I want Van der Beek to play. I do want him to play. I think he is an Ollie signing. So to me, it just seems a little bit weird why we don't do that. But it is what it is at the end of the day.
It's just funny the way you say it. I've got a nightmare. So yeah, flex the prat. I've got to get back in there and talk to him now. See you in a bit, guys.
So we've both gone 2-0.
Yeah.
I actually think we're going to be all right tonight. I do. I think we'll be all right. I think we've got.
I do.
I'm not expecting too much from Granada.
No, not expect too much from Granada, but you have to still remember, and this is the little bit of a glass half empty situation. I know people go, "Come on, flex, be positive. It's Granada. We should be wiping the floor." Yeah, you can say that, but when do we often do that? I'm not saying we can't. But there's always that, you look against Brighton, we were like, oh, flipping it, tight game. There's always that chance with Man United. There's always that chance. And I actually hope that Granada play a little bit how Sociedad did in the first half, because if Granada do just sit in tight, make it horrible for us, they're fighting, they're happy to be where they are, first time being there. Hopefully they get a bit excited and throw men forward and stuff, and then that will help us. Because if they just sit camped in and then play good football when they want, you never know, they might catch us cold. We can always be our own demise, because you can't ever bank on us to play good football and get the job done just like that. We've got players to do it, but we don't often do it.
Imagine Van der Beek instead of James. Our team could be very dynamic. I agree with that one, Chino, but he's just not going to do it. I don't know if this has been discussed as Mario, but if Pogba goes, what high quality box to box would you want to see come in, barring Van der Beek being his replacement? Good point, Mario. And is it that the CDM that makes us play slow? It's the manager. Ollie is more defensive than Mourinho. He needs to be more positive. I think they're both very, very good points. I can't, for me, see Flex. Could be leaky at the back tonight with McTominay and Pogba in the pivot, says Mark Dobby. Be interesting to see. I hope I'm going to be wrong on this, but I can't for the life of me see how Donny van der Beek becomes the replacement for Paul Pogba.
Not a chance.
Played barely any minutes this season.
Not a
chance. You can't just go, I bought you in, I've not used you, and now you're going to be my Pogba replacement.
Not a chance. If the club does that, not only would it be a stupid move to do football-wise, but it would just reinforce complete penny pinching. We could have a really big problem if Paul Pogba leaves, and I know there's going to be people out there who say, "F him, mate. What's he done? Get him out. Like he ain't done nothing." That's fine if you hold that opinion, and I'm not saying that you're 100% wrong to hold that. I don't 100% agree with that, but that's up to you. But what you have to think about is we need a CDM to play alongside Paul Pogba. You can't let Paul Pogba leave, right, and then buy a CDM in replacement of him, and then play play a Declan Rice and McTominay, or Declan Rice and Fred, or an Ndidi and Fred. Like, we need that attacking midfielder in Paul Pogba, and then one other person who can do two players' jobs, so that we can actually not play two CDMs. So, careful what you wish for by wanting Pogba to leave, because I don't trust us, if we let Pogba leave at this short notice as well, to go and replace him. And Donny, like you said, that's not going to be for him. I think if Donny's going to play that deep, I think he needs to be in a three-man midfield. He needs to be in a flat three without a number 10. I don't want to see Donny in a pivot. I think he's wasted there, personally. I think you need to have players around Donny. You need your triangles. You need your movement. You need the complete ball possession, rotation, letting him move about. To say be disciplined and sit in front of the back four, Donny van der Beek, that's not his game. Pinging passes 40 yards, zinging balls in the line. It's not his game. It's either like an attacking midfielder / number 10, or in a three-man midfield. So yeah, if you want Pogba to leave, that's fine. But just bear in mind, ask yourself, do you trust the club to go and get a replacement for him and the CDM we need? Because there's no chance for me.
We're going to be a lot worse team without Paul Pogba in it.
100%.
Right, we'll get you on half time, mate. It's caught up with us quite quick there, but
flipping it.
Yeah,
all right, cool.
I will see you at half time.
Nice one.
Cheers, pal. Speak to you in a bit.
Cool.
Flex is right though. I do think that we will struggle. We will struggle without Pogba, but that's a problem for the summer, not a problem for the now. But with him not wanting to stay at the club, I think it becomes a bigger problem, as we all know. But look, you take Pogba out that team tonight. I look at that team, and I'm sorry, with total respect, I hope we play really well. But I watched Bayern Munich last night. I watched PSG last night. I even watched Chelsea last night at the same time. I just look at that United 11 and see Scott McTominay and Dan James and Victor Lindelof in it, and I think, that team needs. And if Pogba leaves as well, that's 4 positions. I'm not saying that doesn't mean that those players need to be sold, but I think 4 of them need to go to the bench. And, Pogba leaving as well makes it very, very difficult. Anyway, let's watch this game. If Rashford comes off limping, Ollie is a prat. Like, he has to be fit to play, or he never should have played in the first place. So I'm expecting a good performance from Rashford, because you don't play a half-fit player when you've got a full-fit squad. You don't need to do it. This is not the final. This is a quarter-final, first leg against Granada. There's a second leg. There's a game against Spurs at the weekend. We did not need to risk Rashford, so Rashford needs to play well. It's as simple as that. And I expect a big performance from him. I also expect a big performance from Mason Greenwood tonight as well. I said it a few minutes ago. I feel that we're going to get to the point with Mason Greenwood where he's going to announce himself to the European stage, and maybe tonight's going to be the night. But the game kicks off here. Early ball into Dan James, but Granada looking quick here, and they're in behind straight away. Cross comes in. Maguire just about gets rid of it. Wan-Bissaka, a bit shaky start from United here. Slow start. Headed away. Rashford on the spin. Can't believe you're laughing at the poor man's Mark. Hope Seb smashes up your Lego, says Joshua Bowers. Hey, you know what? I've done going for Goldbridge. I explain that tomorrow on that, but yeah, if you know, you know. Thanks everyone for tuning in, by the way. Please subscribe and smash a like on the video. We didn't quite hit 5,000 likes before kickoff. Is that a bad sign? But it's a good start by Granada here. Slow start by United. I'm heartbroken that David has been dropped from the first team. He's unarguably our most important player in the post-Sir Alex Ferguson era, says George. You know, he is playing tonight, George. He is playing. That's going to go out for a goal kick. Keep an eye on Rashford, fitness-wise. Granada look energetic, says Advath. Well, whether there's a difference in quality or not, this is their biggest game in probably in a long, long time for them. Quarter-final of the Europa League. It's 11 against 11. I mean, it's very hard unless you've got a Granada season ticket to know how good Granada actually are. But Dan James should control that from Lindelof. He just stares at it and lets it go. But it's Ollie's chewing some gum. Has Ollie always chewed chewing gum, or is that to make us think that he's the new Sir Alex as well? But I don't know. I think the most interesting thing here is where you put Granada. Now, they're a La Liga side, so I would say that they're probably a Burnley that can pass. But if they're a Burnley that can pass, Burnley could beat United if United don't turn up. So they're certain. I certainly don't think they're a Championship quality side. I mean, I know La Liga's not great, but they are still probably, we're not playing Rochdale, is what I'm trying to say. They play like Brighton, says Jack. Well, we struggled against Brighton at the weekend. That's my point. So Spanish teams tend to be technically good as well. Playing De Gea today is a clear sign that Hendo is the new first choice goalkeeper, says Dowell. I don't actually agree with you on that one, but interpret it how you like. I'm not getting into the David De Gea Henderson thing. We don't need to get into that. One of them's got to go in the summer. I would argue that being the Europa League goalkeeper is better than being the Premier League goalkeeper because you're going to get to a final. So you could win a trophy, but at the end of the day, as long as they share the role until the summer, I'm happy, and I'm sure everybody else is happy with that as well. Please subscribe, by the way, bottom right-hand corner. I'm going to try and get up to 14,000 tonight. Bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. Granada have started off very well here. United very sluggish so far. Cross comes in. Back post. Sluggish start from United. Bit of a weird camera angle, Charlie Small says. It is a little bit weird, yes. We will be keeping an eye out on the other Europa League games. 4 quarterfinals, all kicking off at the same time tonight. Villarreal, Arsenal's quarterfinal, and another cross coming into the box there. Pogba picks it up. Are United already set to hit on the break today? Nice little ball out there to Rashford on the left. He's got loads of space here, Rashford on the left. He needs to find a ball. No, selfish, goes himself. Still got it though. McTominay, I think, had a shot there. Blocked. Good to see McTominay getting so far forward there, actually. Here's Bruno on the left. Granada getting a lot of people back. A bit slow from United there, typically. On our attack, it's slow ball. Bill United says United always slow on the start. Confirmed Mark lives with James Maddison. Why? I don't get it. I'm hoping to do a bit of Grand Theft Auto at 11 tonight. Yeah, Pogba with a shot. Blocked. Yeah, keep your eyes on Rashford. Somebody said he's limping already. I think Rashford looks already hurt. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Hey, we've got a streaker on the pitch. Whoa! I wondered who it was there. I was like, what? Harry Maguire's grown a beard and took his kit off. But it's not Harry Maguire. They normally cut away. He's just come running towards the screen. Big bearded. Looked like a grizzly bear. But he'd shaved all his body hair off. But that's a highlight of the first 6 minutes. Sign him up. A bit of excitement in the midfield. That's the most excitement we've had in the midfield all season. He literally was in the CDM role. Prowling around. He was having a great time. Freedom. That's what you want. Freedom. He's the perfect Solskjaer CDM. He's out there, hanging around with freedom, expressing himself. Perfect CDM for Man United. Sign him up. Lovely running style as well. Put a smile on our face anyway. Yeah, Rashford's limping. I just despair if he has to come off. He's not fit, is he? Look, I don't think he's going to come off, but he's not fit, is he? Pogba's just had a yellow card here as well. Crappy start by Man United. Absolutely crap start. Pogba's got a yellow card. On Kennedy. Scrappy start from United here. Look a bit nervous. Striker looked like Mo Salah. I wasn't. Well, yeah. Some people might not have been looking at the head. All I saw was the beard, thank you. I didn't see anything else. Mark, what's your opinion on Phil Jones' pink boots? Says man's Peppa Pig. I don't think it matters whether it's pink boots or not. Mark, Rashford doesn't look comfortable. He's limping already. And mate, I don't think you need a weatherman to tell you it's raining. And I don't think we need to... We know Rashford's not fit. It doesn't mean he needs to be taken off, but he's not fit, is he? Can we get a setup tour, says Ozzy? No. He's not fit. That's the issue with Marcus Rashford. I'm sure he'll play. He's not going to come off, but he's not fit. He's not fit. And that's poor management, is it? Like Rashford, I've got no issue with Rashford wanting to play. I would play. You want to play. But it's very clear to the naked eye. I'm talking naked again. It's very clear to the naked eye that he's not fit. I think the intruder could get us on a winning streak. Worry about his sloppy tackle though, says Abe. He's miles offside there. I don't know why Bruno wants the offside. It's ridiculous that he's given a corner away. GB, thanks for the super chat. So at the end of the day, we obviously value a half-fit Marcus Rashford over Donny van der Beek or Juan Mata or Cavani or Diallo. Besides United stand, what do you do for a leaving? Ooh, fucking hell. That was going in bottom corner. I thought De Gea gets hold of it very, very easily, but it was spinning towards the bottom corner. Right, rumour is it the streaker was Fellaini signalling to Ollie who's ready to play, says Matt Roseblade. Fellaini in disguise with a beard. Well, it's a very slow start by United. Do you think Phil Jones even watches these matches, says Scott Andrews? Well, I would hope he does. I would make Phil Jones watch these games. He's earning 80 grand a week. He's not played in a year. I would make him, I'd give him homework. I'd say, I want you to watch the game and I want you to tell me what colour boots Kennedy was wearing in the 10th minute, who fouled Paul Pogba. You know, I'd set questions like that so I know he's actually watched it, because it would piss me off to think that he's earning 80 grand a week and doing nothing. Bench players knowing they can't get a start overhead of a hurt player has got to do a number of various confidence, as Santiago. Just starting my notes for my match reaction. He's just not moving right, Rashford. You can tell he's playing injured. It's really poor. Really, I mean, look, I hope he's going to score a goal, but I still don't... Yeah, even if he scores a goal, does that make it right? Does that make it right to risk a player who's injured when we've got a game in 3 days' time, a game in a week's time, semi-final coming up a couple of weeks after that, hopefully? Does it make it right? Even if Rashford scores, does it make it right? It's huge risk over reward, and I don't agree with it. I think we've got enough quality. Mark, love you, man. Great work. Can you call my mate Scott Davies a prat, says Tim. And also we've got the pitch invader needs Manscaped, says Arturo Venegas. Luke Shaw's got it on the left at the moment. Plays it to McTominay. Mark, that streaker could have done with a Manscaped Intimate Hair Trimmer kit. Great advert, says Adastra. You know, it would have been great if Manscaped had sponsored us today. Rashford won't last the half, Mark. Poor decision making by Ollie. He never learns, says Vincent McDonnell. And does McTominay start for any other top 6 team in your opinion? Not to be toxic, but I'm struggling to find many positives, says Salim. Not in that position. I don't think McTominay is a CDM. Really. And hi Mark, loving the show. Serious question. Could we see Rashford retired by the time he's 28, says Mr. Dan United? Well, look, Marcus Rashford's got a fantastic team around him, personally as well as Manchester United. And Wayne Rooney burnt himself out from too much football. So a young player is always going to want to play football, but people around him need to do a little bit better, I think. What probability do you give of Fred being sold in the summer? None, Andrew Kelly. Scooby-Doo, says Gertchen. Scooby-Doo to you. Well, United have settled down a little bit here. I thought the first few minutes were a bit dodgy, but we have settled a little bit here. Wan-Bissaka to Dan James. Unfortunately, we've reverted to the same old static football. Look how slow. Everyone's having a touch again. I'll have a touch and then I might pass it. Oh, no, I'll give it you back. Sideways again. Oh, good ball in there by Lindelof. See Greenwood. Look at the way Greenwood wants to turn and make things happen. Comes to Dan James. Pass backwards. Yeah. You're the winger, mate. Put a bloody cross in. There's people queuing up in the box. Put a cross in. Wan-Bissaka front post. And we win a corner. Better. Rashford is perfectly fine. He told me himself, mate. Love from Karaki, says Jams. Is this some kind of strange BDSM thing Ollie and Rashford have got going on, says Red Baron. Mark, do you think Sean Dyche would be good as a Man United manager, says Ube Mellon? On a serious, no. This manager is breaking Rashford. Poor management, says iMac. Poor inexperienced management by Ollie, says Kirkham. Go on, Pogba. Oh, they've cleared it. I've got a below-knee amputation and a spinal injury, and I still think Ollie would play me before Ahmed and Donny, says Gavin Blake. Well, that's a bit of a dodgy throw. And Pogba needs to be a bit careful because he's on a yellow card. Thanks for the super chat, Ash. And if we signed a proper CDM like Rice, don't you think we could see a better McTominay next to him? Yes, Jack. I think a specialist CDM would make all our midfielders better, apart from Matic, who is basically needs selling anyway. But even Fred would be better with a proper CDM, because Fred's not a CDM. But McTominay would be so much better with a proper CDM next to him, yeah. I don't think Rashford needs to come off, by the way, but he's just clearly not fit. Dan James plays football like a schoolboy who's won a Walker's Chris competition, says Gary M. Mark, love your humour. Just what I needed after a crap Thursday. I wonder if the streaker plays like Salah, get him back on, says Mike Boddington. Hey Mark, can you wish my good friend Mustafa a happy birthday? And should I treat him to some birthday, says Manus. And if we signed a proper CDM, yeah, I've done that one as well. Thanks everyone for your super chats. So United are on the attack here with Dan. I say on the attack, we're moving up the pitch, going side to side. I expect us to get in the box about this time next Tuesday, but we are sort of 10 metres out from their box. Bruno's just tried a forward pass, and Granada will get rid of it. Opinions on old Grandpa Joe, says HWC Games. And Cavani made a big difference last game. If the ball was on the left, he was there to be on the option to pass, says I love this game. "17 minutes gone. It's flown by, really, hasn't it? We've done absolutely nothing, really. Not that Granada have, but Slow tempo from United again. It's becoming the pattern of how we play football, I'm afraid. We're always looking for that wonder ball over the top as well. We cannot sustain. We cannot move the ball quick enough, can we, to hurt a team. It's a nice ball by McTominay. Greenwood doesn't quite control it. Hi Mark, did you see my streak on the pitch? Says Fizzy. Here's Bruno. So Rashford. It's got to give the foul. Got to give the foul. I don't think we're boring with Pogba playing at all. I think the way that the tempo that we set is a little bit boring. Like, we don't move the ball quick enough. I'm tired of saying it. You can't... Look, we've got a free kick here, but... That's not the screen I wanted. But so much of what United do is this. It's side to here. Oh, there's nothing on. I'll go here. I'll go here. I'll go back here. All right, I'll go here now. There's nothing on. I'll go here. I'll go here. I'll go here, I'll go here, I'll go here, I'll go here, or I'll come here, I'll go here, I'll go here. It's just, we can take 10 minutes to get to the opposition's box. Thank you for giving me mental vitamins, says Lee Saunders. Well, Rashford's on the pitch and he's going to hit this. This is Ollie football, slow, boring and unpredictable, says Aram. We would make a great rugby team. We can get up the pitch without playing a single forward pass, says Mark Dobby. Rashford's going to just hit this. He did it once against Chelsea. It was absolutely fantastic. But it's a waste of time most of the time. Nathan, hi Mark, my good friend. Davey B has recovered from his coma from session. Can you give him a happy birthday? Thanks, says Nathan Baldwin. There you go. And if we get knocked out by Granada, I will jump in the canal, says Paul Not Nice. Don't do that, Paul. Yeah, I mean, look, if you put Paul Pogba in a Man City side, he'll play a forward pass. If you put Bruno Fernandes in a Man City side, he'll take one touch and he'll play a forward pass. This is measured football is what they call it. Possession, measured football. Here's Maguire into Wan-Bissaka. And what are we doing here? What are we doing here trying to pass out from here? I mean, we've done well, but... It's hard. It's not Man City, is it? We've done well to get out of that situation, but for a moment I was a bit worried. For Dan James being so fast, he never even looks to beat his man around the outside, says DJ Marshall. And we've lost the ball again here. I don't know who lost that because we were in possession with it. And they're into the box. Cross comes in. Lindelof clears. Doesn't matter who we sign if we don't change our playing manager. We will play the same, says Leo Man United. And Rashford's been fouled there. It was Rashford who lost the ball there. Sorry, I didn't see what happened. "20 minutes gone. Not been very exciting again, has it? Only thing saving Ollie is there's no fans. Buy whoever you want. If we keep this manager, he will play the same," says Carl Brown. Second half FC, says Aram. My score prediction's 2-0. Remember, we are much better than Granada. I mean, I know it's been a very equal game, but there is a distinct quality difference between Man United and Granada. They've lost their last 3 games. We're second in the Premier League. I think they're a mid-table La Liga side. And we've got way better players. So at some point, you'd expect that quality to come forward. Here's Harry Maguire, the left winger. Just runs into traffic. We've won it back with Pogba. Bruno. If I see another pound land Ronaldo 30-yard free kick from Rashford, says Nick P, I'm going to pronounce him officially not very smart. Well, especially when you've got someone like Harry Maguire that you could whip across into the back post. I do think it's a waste of time to shoot from those angles just because you did it against Chelsea a couple of years ago. It's too slow. It's way too slow again. Okay. You know what pisses me off about United? Watch it now. Everybody takes a touch. It definitely comes from the training ground. Everybody takes a touch as soon as they get the ball. Nobody wants to play a first-time pass. Nobody wants to do it. And yet the pass they get is so telegraphed, you think there's a stamp on it. Like, when you're doing triangles at work, when you're training and you do triangles. Have you ever done, and what I'm talking about here is there's one man in the middle, or a woman, there's you lot, and you're passing the ball around. Do you always take a touch? I very rarely take a touch. Because the ball's coming to me and I know where I've got 2 or 3 options and I'll pass it straight away. United never play a first time pass. It's always into feet, control it and have a look. If I can do it and you can do it, when you're playing with somebody running around in a circle and you can play one touch passing, why can't United ever play a first time pass? Always take a touch. Fucking hell. This is the highest level of football you can get. Well, it's not. It's the Europa League. But it's high-level football. Why do we always have to take a touch? Like, the ball travels. You can look and go, oh, Dan James is free. Bang. Pass and move. Pass and move. Why are we so static and slow on the tempo? We don't need to take a touch. Or sometimes you need to take a touch. And I don't know what this Harry Maguire thing's... What does Harry Maguire do when he runs 40 yards with the ball forward and then just plays a simple pass and we go backwards anyway? What's that all about? Greenwood just played a first touch and lost it. Pass, offer, receive. Exactly. If you don't take that touch, the game moves quicker. It's very, very simple. People talk about tempo like it's like turning up, watching bloody The Simpsons on fast play. Tempo comes from moving the ball quicker. It's very, very simple. And the way you move the ball quicker is you take less time on the ball. 23 minutes and Greenwood has had no service. Haaland would have had the same amount of chances. What a load of shit, says Carl Brown. Well, I told you this. Said it so many times. Maguire taking a touch and walking 10 seconds to pass it is really pissing me off, says Nathan Kearney. And we're doing it again now. You know what? You could actually write your shopping list, put your head up and still be the same. Welcome to the Members Club, Tibor. And where's the one-touch football the time Ollie has had at this club? There's no fluidity, says Fizzy. Well, there's a player down in the centre circle here, but McTominay's like, I don't know what you're on about. They've had to put the ball out. I don't think there was anything in this. No, it just catches him in the face. There's nothing sinister there from McTominay. Just catches him in the face by accident. Move along. Nothing to see here. Please subscribe, by the way, bottom right hand corner. We're trying to get up to 104. We're trying to get up to 14,000 tonight. You can see the score, the live subscriber board in the top right hand corner. Ollie Van Gaal football, slow tempo, slow movement. It's horrible, same old. Why are we surprised, says Vignesh. Never seen so many quality players playing so poorly. They're able to play faster, but they're not. So it's either the coaching or the players aren't listening. Neither is a good sign, says JB. Well, we've heard Ollie come out before and say, slow tempo, but just go and stand on the touchline. There's no fans in the ground. They can't say they can't hear you. Just shout out to them, one touch. Play some one touch. Move the ball quicker. Up the tempo, one touch. That's all you got to say. Simple as that. Here's Rashford. Over. Ollie Van Gaal football, slow tempo, says Vignesh. Maybe the passing is so bad that the players need to take a touch. Pass needs to be accurate to take it on the first touch, says Jonas. Yeah, but it shouldn't be bad, should it? Morning from Australia, Mark. What do you think of this summer for a summer window? Sancho, Rice, Trippier, Badiashile and Andre Silva. That sounds good to me. Lachlan, we won't do it, but it does sound okay. Hi, Mark. Love the show. It makes these games enjoyable. If Ollie was sacked, who would you want to replace him? Says Clicker. I don't want Solskjaer to be sacked, and he's not going to be sacked. I just want us to play a more expressive Manchester United style of football. And I don't see, with the players that, even the coaches that we've got, Michael Carrick was never a player that played slow, sideways, bloody snail football. So why are we doing it? Ole Gunnar Solskjaer played most of his career in a risk-taking footballing side. So why aren't we doing it? We are Manchester United. This should not be acceptable, says Carl Brown. Ollie is a legend and played under the greatest. Why does he play like this? Exactly what I just said, Carl, really. You know, exactly. You took the words, well, you didn't take the words out of my mouth because I already said them, but... I hate when Maguire carefree, languidly runs forward trying to survey the field as if he's bloody Pirlo just to pass it to Shaw every time. Barry Haynes, you're speaking my language. I don't see... I think people like it when Harry Maguire runs into space off the down the left-hand side, but his final ball is always a sideways pass to somebody he could have given it to 5 minutes ago. If you're going to run forward into space, at least make something happen in that space. Don't just run forward and pay the pass you could have done without running forward. Right, Dan James here. Bit of direct. Tries to shoot and basically... It's the player. I don't know what's gone on there. Someone has to be willing to take a defender on one-on-one in the final third and get past his man, says James. And there's no movement. Everyone is static, and this is down to the management and coaching, says Lewis Webb. Seeing Donny van der Beek on the bench is starting to boil my blood. If we didn't mean to play him, why the heck have we bought him? Says Talk About Revolution. Yeah, the thing is, somebody like Donny van der Beek suits this game perfectly. A player that wants to play one-touch, quick tempo, pressing football. Oh, sounds like a terrible player. Louis Jose Solskjaer, my Notts County football manager team is better, says Sid T. And Liam Deegan says, call me mystic, but I think that Pogba could be a superstar. And buy Rice, Koundé and Sancho, that would cost 880 million, says Victor. I mean, look, we can all write out about players that we want to buy, but ultimately there's good enough players on that football pitch to play better football than we've seen for the last half an hour. So I think we can all talk about players, but is it not about time we start talking about the way that we're playing football? It's shoddy. It's shoddy. It should be better. You've got Paul Pogba on that football pitch. You've got Bruno Fernandes on that football pitch. You've got Mason Greenwood on that football pitch. There's enough players on that football pitch to play better than the way we have played. Vignesh says, I hate comparing Mark, but we are as a team aspire to become the best. I watched Bayern yesterday, keep the ball, press high, quick, fast football. Do you think we're on the way to become that? Nowhere near, Vignesh. And would a quick centre-back allow us to play high up and not worry about ball over the top? Imagine a Koundé in this team. Well, that's the idea, Salah, is to play higher up the pitch, but we still move the ball too slow. We scored a goal. Marcus Rashford, 1-0 to Manchester United. Out of nothing FC. Lucky Ollie strikes again. We've been absolutely trash in this first half, and yet 1 second changes it all. And it's Marcus Rashford, and Solskjaer will feel justified for playing a player that clearly is not fit, but he has sat everybody down again. How many times does Solskjaer do this? He gets it right. David De Gea into Lindelof. I didn't even see what happened here. It must be a ball by Lindelof. Let's have a look. Lindelof over the top, onside. Terrible defending by Granada. Lovely ball by Lindelof. Lovely take by Rashford. 1-0 to Manchester United. No team should get caught out of this. It's just a ball over the top. And I tell you what, he takes it down fantastically well. And it's Manchester United 1-0. What a goal by Rashford that is. He's took the risk and it's paid off. It's 1-0 to Manchester United. And you can't, at the end of the day, it's been very, very poor to watch, but it's that one bit of that one moment, and Manchester United are in the lead. It's not been pretty. Maybe it never is going to be pretty. I mean, look, this used to happen under Mourinho, didn't it? Maybe it never will be pretty, but it's effective, and it's 1-0 to Manchester United. A ball over the top, Rashford's pace, takes it down superbly well, 1-on-1, big away goal. Ollie gets it right. I would not have played Rashford in this game. I think most people wouldn't have played him. He definitely doesn't look right. But Rashford will feel justified. Ollie will feel justified. And we, as Manchester United fans, benefit 100%. But it's not been pretty, but it's been effective. And it's a lovely ball over the top by Lindelof. It's a bad defensive line by Granada. I mean, I'm stunned that you would play a flat, high line like that. But Real Sociedad did it as well. It must be a Spanish thing. They must not be used to that sort of ball over the top, because you'd never see an English Premier League side playing a line like that against us. High line, high flat line, and Rashford just gets away. I mean, he's got a lot of work to do, Rashford, there. It's a brilliant take and it's a brilliant finish. And fair play, fair play to Solskjaer. He's got it right. I would not have picked Rashford, and I think many of us wouldn't. I'm going to stand by it and say I wouldn't have picked him. I don't think the risk is worth it. Before kickoff, I don't think the risk is worth it to play an injured player in a game like this. But it's worked, and Solskjaer's got it right. And this is why, as much as I don't like the football, this is why I say you can't sack the man. You can't sack the man. You can't not give him a new contract. We're second in the league. We're winning in the Europa League quarter-final. It's not pretty, but it's effective, And this is what I mean. I understand when people are saying, I can't stand the football. He's got his favourites. But maybe I do think he'll run out of fuel. I don't think you can keep doing this week after week after week after week after week. But for this season, it's been very effective. And he will get a contract, and he deserves a contract based on the results that we've got. Do I like the way we play football? God, no. But do I like the results we get? Yeah. Lindelof is more of a ball-playing centre-back than Maguire, says Thomas Allen. Granada have allowed the most goals in La Liga. Ollie shouldn't have to sacrifice Rashford to score, says Nate Hayward. Take him off now, says Sebastian. Even when Rashford's injured, he's still world class, as Yazza said. When I say he's better than Mbappe, people that I'm crazy. Rashford is better. I said it the other day, Yazza. I got laughed at the other day. I said that Marcus Rashford is a top 10 in the world player when he's fit and on it. I just think, we've had to manage him this season. Fair player, I wouldn't have picked Rashford. He is a moment player and he proved it there. Brilliant take and finish. Yeah, look, you've got to give Ollie the credit. It's a risk, but it's paid off. And he is a lucky manager. And people think that's offensive. He's a lucky manager. Definitely. But you can't be lucky. You can't be this lucky all the time. It's got to be more than luck at times, hasn't it? Rashford's just gone down injured again here. But he's all right. I think he's just tired. If Rice goes to Chelsea instead of United, could use Lingard in a deal for Bowen, says Bren. Please subscribe, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. Massive away goal for Manchester United. Very, very... they're obviously leaving it in on Rashford a bit as well. Kennedy leaves it in on him there. They know what they're doing. And that's the other risk in high-end sports. Look, even I didn't play high-end sport, and I'm sure many of you didn't. But if I knew that they had a player that was injured, I'd leave it in on him a little bit. Of course you are. Do they want Marcus Rashford playing against them? Of course they don't. Look what he's just done. There's a couple of times there's been 50-50 balls and they've left it in on Rashford. Of course they're going to do that. The ref's not protecting him at all. I'm not a flip-flop, mate. I wouldn't have played Rashford. And I've said, give Ollie the credit. So that's not being a flip-flop. That's actually admitting I wouldn't have played Rashford because I've got Rashford's career at heart and I don't think it's worth risking him in a game like this. Ollie does. Ollie's right. I stand corrected. That's not being a flip-flop. Of course I'm going to celebrate the bloody goal. I'm a United fan. I don't want United to lose. I just don't want us to injure Marcus Rashford. But Ollie's took the risk and it's worked. Fair play. Fair play. I haven't got all the answers. Nobody has. And again, they ain't protecting Rashford very much. I mean, they're kicking him off the pitch at the moment. Mark, Rashford is better than Mane, but top 10 in the world. Is he comparable to Neymar or even Salah? Anyways, he really shouldn't be starting, says Vortex. They're targeting him, aren't they? Bloody hell, they really are. He's had a few tackles in on him. Lovely ball by Lindelof, though, wasn't it? I thought that I thought the finish by Rashford and the takedown was fantastic. It's not hard. It's very hard to do that. But yeah, it was absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. But look, is that not what football's all about? You can have the most boring game in the world and then one ball over the top, brilliant ball over the top, brilliant take and finish, and it's 1-0. Some teams play really good football and entertain you. Some teams keep a clean sheet and just are clinical. And how many times have we said that about United under Solskjaer? We are very, very clinical. Cross comes in. It's all right. We've not looked. To be fair though, I mean, again, I've said this so many times with Dean Henderson. It's you play these games and nothing happens really. They've not created anything, have they? They've not caused us any problems. If Harry was an actual captain or good at heading, he would demand the long set pieces be put on his head instead of expecting Marcus Rashford to pull off a Ronaldo, says DJ Marshall. Pogba can't communicate with McTominay half as well as he does with Fred, and it shows, says V. Will you give Ollie credit for playing sideways football just to wait for the moment to catch the opponent with long ball and individual brilliance? I love Ollie, but it's not the United way, says Antonius. I don't really know how to answer that one, you know. I don't know. Do you give Solskjaer credit for playing boring football and then lulling Granada into a false sense of security to suddenly hit a ball over the top? I mean, look, it could be part of the plan. Who am I to say that's not part of the plan? Let's bore the opposition and then quickly hit a ball over the top and catch them out. Maybe that is the plan. Is that the United way? Is that going to entertain 75,000 fans next year? Of course it's not. So Ajax are beating Roma 1-0, by the way. Klassen. A lot of diving from Granada. I mean, I don't watch La Liga anymore. Is this still a big part of Spanish football? The diving and the yellow cards. McTominay's been booked. Misses the next match. Some people would celebrate that, but that probably is a yellow card. McTominay is very late. That's a yellow. That is a yellow. I don't think the ref's got that wrong. He's late. That is a yellow, I'm afraid. Look at PSG. Top clubs are forward movements to stretch defences. Ollie plays content being static, says Oscar. So McTominay's booked and Pogba's been booked. Pogba's yellow card, I don't know. McTominay's was a yellow, to be fair. We are looking for English-speaking players. That's why we're letting Pogba, Cavani and Donny go. So Sebastian Bodry. And hold on a minute. Granada on the right-hand side. And offside there. Again, can't remember Mason with a chance, and yet some pundits and fans think we should spend 150 million on a striker, says KA. Yeah, you're spot on there. We've said it so many times. It's the graveyard shift. I don't get the hate Ollie gets. Like, how can you get the players to play attractive football when all the star boys are either carrying an injury or recovering? Says John. That's a different angle to come at it. Corner to Granada here. Ooh, back post. Soldado shoots wide. Who's marking him? Who is marking the number 9 there in the box? You know what? You know, in the week I was talking about all the goals we've conceded this season. This is a prime example of what I'm talking about. Their number 9 is unmarked on the back post. Their striker is unmarked on the back post. Absolutely ridiculous. Who is marking? Who is teaching these players on corners to mark people up? Because we don't do it. SK says the ref is dodgy. Granada have been kicking the crap out of United players, says SK. Yeah, I think they should have had a couple of yellow cards. You're right. I've no shame in saying McTominay missing next match makes me happy, says Sharathmath Fitness. And happy belated birthday, Mark. Mine's tomorrow. Hopefully these pansies don't ruin it for us, says Cam. And I won't let the standards of this club drop. This manager's football is nothing short of a disgrace, says Ben Anderson. And if Ollie plays this type of football next season, how long will he survive, says Salah Ahmed. Christmas. Yeah. Well, they're trying to get Luke Shaw booked here. Shaw misses the next game as well. I didn't see him get booked. Did he get booked? The ref's crap. You know what annoys me though is Shaw and McTominay are on a yellow card and missed the next game. Paul Pogba's on a yellow card, and yet, Marcus Rashford has been kicked all over the place. There's not one yellow card to the Granada players. It's inconsistent. Good shot, good hold by De Gea there. Good technique on both parts. Standard save for a goalkeeper, but you know, he's kept hold of it, which is important. Again, nobody marking anybody from a corner. See, that's a yellow card on Pogba. That's a yellow card on Pogba. And he's played on. If he don't go back and give a yellow card there, he's Mr. Inconsistent. Thanks. Here's Greenwood. Go on, Mason. Go on, Mason. Go on then, lad. Oh, he's been tackled. Ref's getting on my tits. Villarreal are winning 1-0 as well. I do think that McTominay's was a yellow card, and I thought Shaw's was borderline, but there's definitely been other ones. Is Discord going to be brought back? I feel like I could have some very good points this time. Yeah, it will do. Mark, a proper question. How long do you think with the fans Ollie will last playing like this? Carl, I think next season. The thing is, I'm very happy with what United are doing this game, and second place is absolutely, brilliant. But you don't have to be a top red who's been supporting the club all your life to remember 3 years ago. We were in exactly the same position 3 years ago. We weren't in the Europa League because we were in the Champions League and we got knocked out. But we did finish second in the league. The football wasn't great and he was gone by Christmas. So the football's got to improve. Granada know exactly what they're doing. Tactical fouling and play acting. Why isn't our captain in the ref's ear? Says Stuart Betts. Good point. Thanks for the super chats and everyone. Another corner to Granada. They've had a lot of corners, Granada, So it reminds me, this game reminds me a little bit of Porto-Chelsea last night. Not that we're playing terribly, but Porto were definitely the more progressive side, but clinical finishing. I mean, it's nearly half-time here. Bruno has been our best centre-back this game, says Ethan Perrin. Lovely goal by Rashford. Look at that. The way he takes it out of the air is fantastic. It's very hard to kill a ball like that coming over your shoulder, travelling 40 yards. It's a lovely, lovely take. It really is. Just caught them out. Literally caught them out. Tellez will come in for the second leg. Of course he will. This is why he's here. It'd be worse if Wan-Bissaka. Is anyone else on a yellow card in the semi-final for the next if they get knocked out? If they get a yellow card, anyone else missing the next game? Someone find out. Can the streaker play CDM? Says Bobby Mitchell. Maguire and Lindelof are both on it as well. Okay. Eek. Thanks, everyone. Go on. There he is. Slide tackle one. Mark, thoughts on uploading YouTube content also on an audio platform, perhaps like a podcast, so people can hear instead of stream it? It's already done, Simon Evans. Check out our Twitter feed. We're already doing it with the morning show every day. So you can check it out. Check it out. Check it out. Check it out. I think the links are in the video description as well, actually. Dan James has been very quiet, hasn't he, actually? And Greenwood, graveyard shift. Very ineffective, Dan James. But here we go. Bruno sees Greenwood. Go on, Mason. Go on, lad. Go on, do something. Bottom corner. Oh, I thought he was going to bend it in the bottom. Has he blown up for half time? Yes, he has. Look at him talking about elbowing. Oh, I'm so glad I don't watch La Liga anymore. Ref, he's elbowed me, ref. Oh, I broke my leg, I'm fine now. I bloody hate La Liga like that. I'm glad I don't watch it anymore. They really do. I mean, it's part of the game. Pep's brought it to our game in a certain way. Streaker had more penetration than Fred, says Dan. Yeah, but Fred's not playing, Dan. Let's be fair. So, half time. Let me just stop the clock. Manchester United 1-0. And I think that is the positive. Of course it is. We're winning 1-0, but it's been poor. It's been poor. And it's hard. It's hard to keep saying this because you don't want to be negative. We are 1-0 up. We have got the away goal. But it's hard to find anything positive about that half other than that moment. And it was so well taken by Marcus Rashford. And it's a very good ball by Lindelof. But what I would say, Rashford gets so much stick. I don't give Rashford stick. I just wouldn't pick Rashford because I think he's injured. But the goal is absolutely fantastic. It's absolutely superb. To take that ball out of the sky like he did and then finish it isn't easy. And he did fantastically well. Flex, can you hear me?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So 1-0 up at half time. Before I have my say, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it was a professional at times in terms of defending. Defended well. I think we've done our jobs there. A lot of possession, like we probably expected. First, it was a bad start, I'd say. First 5-10 minutes, didn't keep the ball well at all. Very sloppy on the ball, which kind of was a common theme, actually, going forward. You know, silly yellow cards picked up by McTominay, Shaw and Pogba there as well. Not good. And that puts Shaw out the next leg as well. But we have to talk about the moment of quality. We'll start with that because it's something that Lindelof does quite a lot. When you watch Lindelof, what he does like that diagonal ball, he's always looking for someone running off the shoulder, and he's got a very good pass on him. He's got a very good pass on him. And like you just said there before I came on, it was brilliant from Rashford to pluck it down and finish as well. I was worried early on, man, because he looked uncomfortable from very early on, and then you're thinking, I'll tell you what, is this going to be one of them? But to be fair,
you got to applaud Ali.
You do, because really, yeah, and not only is he taking the risk. When you said he's not fit there, Ollie's told us he's not fit. He feels sore. He feels this. He's not 100%, but I'm still going to play him. And if he's still getting the results, still 20 goals, I stand by my decision that I'm worried. My thing is that I'm worried it's just going to get worse. I'm not saying I don't want Marcus Rashford on the pitch because he's crap and can't influence the game. I'm saying I'm worried about having Marcus Rashford on the pitch playing through that. I just, is it going to be
when carry that all season? He's not playing through it. No way.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the worry for me. But yeah, we keep giving the ball away cheaply. Greenwood a couple of times, putting the pressure back on us, not keeping the ball. Dan James just before the half was out there, shit touch, and then we're going back the other way. Just got to cut out the little pieces of crap play, to be honest, and look after the ball a bit better.
I mean, if I said to you, you're not having that Rashford goal, we're just talking about the game, it's 0-0. I mean, it's a totally different story, isn't it? I'm surprised that Granada played the flat line on the halfway line. It played right into it. Lovely ball by Lindelof. Lovely take by Rashford. It's a fantastic goal. It justifies taking the risk on Rashford. Of course it does. Ollie's got it right. But other than that, they've probably been the better team. A bit like Porto-Chelsea last night. They've probably been the better team without really looking like scoring. And we've been, especially I think Pogba and McTominay, what's going on there? They're just not getting hold of the game again.
No, giving the ball away. That's what I mean. Late into tackles, being sloppy with the ball, taking too many touches. It's exactly what I said before the game, and what a lot of you guys at home will be saying. It's like, no matter who the pivot is, it just never really works. Tactics, the way we play football, the movement in front, the way we're instructed to move the ball, how quickly we're instructed to move the ball. It's never consistent. It's always a bit of bad play, followed by maybe one good pass, followed by getting at half-time, getting to him. Maybe a little bit of an improvement there, then back to the same. It's not consistent, no matter who plays, which is what we were talking about before the game. But we've got to create more. I mean, I don't think Granada been the better side. I think we've managed them well in terms of 70% possession. And De Gea's had the shot from outside the box from Kennedy was actually a good connection, but it's right at De Gea. The one where the player's trying to cross it, but he hits the post. All right, cool. That was a bit
Keeper's
jammy.
got that covered. Somebody was trying to say
he's got that covered.
He's got that covered.
No. He's got that covered. So they haven't had anything. You know what I mean? But it's just. But then again, like you said, you take out that moment of brilliance, which is what we have, and then it goes back to the same. I don't want to say argument, because people who are pro what we're doing and think exactly that everything's fine would say, well, that's what you want. We've got the better players. The instant moment happens, but this is what we're saying. Like you take the Paul Pogba one chance out of the AC Milan game. Where's the chances? You take that one moment of brilliance between Lindelof and Rashford. Where's the sustained play? Where's the consistent pressure? Where's the consistent chances? So look, that's what my worry is for going forward, longer term, which I think we're always going to be saying. Not sustainable, but
you know,
it gets the job done now.
I don't know where you are on this. I've said this. I'm like, look, I accept that football's boring. I know it's boring, but that's a great goal, and we've won
brilliant goal,
and we've got the away goal, and we're second in the league, and you can't sack a manager on that. I keep saying this to people.
You can't.
But do I like that football? God no. That's Mourinho. That's Van Gaal. I've seen this 3 years ago. Saw it 5 years ago. I agree with that, but you're going to have to be a little bit more patient. I don't think we're getting to the stage where you start going enough is enough until next season. No. We get top four. We hopefully win the Europa League. He gets backed in the summer and we build next year. If he tries and does this next year with 75,000 fans in the ground playing that brand of football, it ain't going to wash. So,
but you know what though? It depends on what the results are, because it's all about results. If we won a league playing like this, or challenged for the league like this, and was only 2 points behind City in second, playing like this, but mate. I know. I'm just saying, I know we won't. But what I'm saying is it's down to results though, because the results won't go with those type of performances for too much longer in terms of a whole year. That's when the heads start turning. But if we were, say, 3 points behind City, but we were playing like this because we didn't concede against Everton in the last minute, and we managed to put away Sheffield United and not mess up, and we were a little bit closer, people might say, like, you know what? But if you're going to play like that but not get the big titles, it's not going to happen.
The thing is, it's not sustainable anyway, is it? Because it's not sustainable because he's got favourites and there's too many games. And already in the next game, we know he can't play McTominay and he can't play Shaw. If Lindelof or Maguire pick up a yellow card, he can't play one of them. So that's 3 of his favourites he can't play. So it's never going to be sustainable on so many levels. But yeah, I think if you won a title playing like this, we'd all take it. Of course we would. We'd moan about it because United need to win and play well. But
you know what? Because we've not won the title in so long, we wouldn't moan about it if we won it now playing like that.
But the reason that won't happen is because that's exactly why we wanted Mourinho. We were like, Mourinho plays shit football, but he'll win us the title. So
it's not good enough now. It's not. Now you have to play. It's not good enough.
I don't know what Solskjaer's selling us anyway. Like I said, for the short term, it's going to be fine. Next season, it's got to change. But I find it really odd that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer talks about DNA and he's selling us what Mourinho was doing 3 years ago. He's not Sir Alex. He's Jose. That's what he's doing. It's Jose. That is a Jose half. Not very good. One moment. A ball, and you say one moment. It's one ball. People are going, what a ball! What a ball! It's a long ball. It's a great ball, but it's a long ball. And then it's a brilliant takedown, and it's a finish. That's a pub goal.
It's the type of goal that you can't. I'll be very surprised if you replicate that in the same game.
No, you won't.
Twice.
It's a brilliant.
Exactly. Do you know what I mean? It's a great pass,
and it's a great finish. But it's not technical football, is it? It's like
no
fucking hell. Granada are playing like Lindelof's looked up and he's gone, fucking hell, are they really doing that? Ping, and Rashford's like, fucking hell, are they really doing that?
Yeah.
I'm off. It's brilliant by Lindelof.
And their manager at half time is going to go, effing hell, are we really doing that? Drop back. Don't allow that space in behind, because they weren't doing it before that goal happened. The reason why we weren't getting in and stuff like that was because they were very compact and they were dropping off, and they were pressing us in the right moments and making it difficult, even though we had the lion's share of possession. So that was the first time. That was Sociedad like that was.
Yeah, they did. I can't. Maybe it's a Spanish thing. I can't believe you'd never see a Premier League defence do that against us. They would never stand on the halfway line. And I mean, brilliant ball by Lindelof because he sees it, and Rashford's like, it's my birthday. It's you can't take anything away from United, but that's not scintillating football. That's like they did that. If they did that against Liverpool, Van Dijk's going to go ping and Salah's going to go through. It's like it's nothing. There's nothing wrong with what we've done. We've taken advantage of it, and Man City would do it, and Liverpool would do it. But yeah, it's not rocket science football, is it? It's not brilliant. But
No,
I'm going to give United the praise. I'm going to give Ollie the praise, and I'm going to give Rashford and Lindelof the praise because we're 1-0 up. We've got the away goal, and they don't look. We're probably already in the phase flex where we just manage this tie out now. Hit them on the break. Hit them on the break. They've got to score.
Hit him on the break. Be patient. Take care of the ball. Mason, if he wants to lead the line, he's got to look after the ball. I think he had a kind of a game of two halves, or a half of two halves. The first sort of 15, 20 minutes, everything he was doing, I thought was quite tidy. He was zipping into him. He was on the half turn. He's just popping it back, getting out. And then as the half wore on, he started, trying to do one-touch passes back to midfield, losing it. Making wrong decisions on the ball, losing it. Dan James was guilty of the same thing. Couple of crap crosses.
He's hardly been in the game, hasn't he? Dan James has been
hardly been in the game, but because of how the left back, how they're playing, they're squeezing when he gets it. You're right up his arse. All Dan James is going to be able to do is knock it back to whoever just passed it to him, and that's it.
Here's a question to you. I mean, is Dan James actually even worth picking in a game like this, where there's no space in behind, they're tight on him, it's a slow tempo game? I just think Dan James does not suit this sort of football. I think I just don't think I think you'd be better off playing a Donny on the right, or a Mata on the right, or I dare say Diallo, but just not. It's not a game for Dan James.
It's not. It's a game where we'll be looking for. You see the moment like what Rashford just had.
Yeah, that's the one.
You'd be looking for a moment like that to get to slip James in, because he's not gonna consistently get in. Of course, there's always one or two moments in 90 minutes he might get through. Someone goes to sleep and lets him run in behind or trips over or whatever, just a good bit of play. But over 90 minutes to base your game off Dan James getting in and bringing that, like you said, there's null and void in a game like this. You're better off having someone like a Donny, even a Mata, who's going to come in off that right-hand side, open it up for someone else, Wan-Bissaka to go on the overlap, or Pogba to go into that space, or bounce passes off Pogba on the inside channel, and be a bit more inventive. Do you know what I'm saying? But I bet you still Dan James will probably have that.
Ricky would be like,
he says fine. He's doing nothing.
He's done
wrong,
his job. What's their left back done? Tell me this. What's their left back done? He's done his job. It's fine. He's a system player, but he has done his job. And Ricky's right. Their left back's done nothing. But I don't watch my football to cancel out their left back. I want my my winger to express themselves. You can't just pick a player to cancel a player out. But
no, you can't. I mean, look, we know Dan James' limitations, and I think I honestly do think Dan James has done okay since he's come in. But like you said, it's not his fault that this is just a limitation in his game where he's not going to get the chance to flourish in a game like this. It's just not his skill set.
No. What's happening second half? Do you think he'll make any changes? Rashford maybe.
I think as the game wears on, he'll probably look at how Rashford's doing, and like he already said, he probably can't play 90 minutes, so. Probably take him off, put what's his face on, put Cavani on, and then put Greenwood on the right, Dan James on the left, and then put Cavani up top. So I'd say that's probably the safest bet. But I just want to see us manage the game better. Maybe bring in Fred for McTominay if the half wears off a bit, but there's not really much. I that's what I think Ollie would do. But I'm saying I want to see Donny come onto that pitch. You know what I mean?
It amazes me because I think Greenwood's been in and out of the game, but I always would say, where is the service? There's no service. And it makes me laugh that there's talk of us spending £150 million on Erling Haaland. And every game I watch is now, I imagine Erling Haaland was playing, and I think, what's he getting out of that half? I don't care how good you are, what you getting out of that half? There's nothing going on. Like, there's nothing. So what's the point? Like, The issue for me is that midfield is dead again. The tempo is too slow. But, there seems to be this weird obsession with buying a striker.
Yeah, it doesn't. You can see where the problems are in midfield. We don't rotate the ball well enough. We don't play well enough in that engine room. We don't dictate play from there. We don't usually win the ball back very, very consistently. I know Fred can do that at times and win it back in periods, but in terms of the context of a whole game, we don't normally do it. We just don't dominate in that area. And if you want to win football matches, you have to dominate in that area. You've got to dominate the ball, and we don't do it in a variety of positions, but especially there. So I don't get the infatuation with getting a striker. Unless, like we're saying, it looks like Cavani's going to go, which we thought anyway. And with his injury record, I worry about what he even brings. Yes, he's good around the place, and they keep saying Mason's learning off him and stuff like that. Well, is he learning just mainly through conversation then? Because he's probably not even training that much. He's injured. You know, he don't even speak English.
0-0 in the Arsenal game, by the way. Quite an equal game there at the Emirates. So
Yeah,
Tellez is on
them
second half.
flipping racists.
Tellez, second half.
Oh, what? Luke Shaw off?
Yeah, Rashford's come out.
Rashford's come out, Luke Shaw off. Well, I don't know why, unless he's... Luke Shaw's already not going to play in the next leg because he's suspended, so must be an injury.
Maybe that's the plan. Get him on and get him used to playing. Don't know. Unless we've got an injury to Luke Shaw, which would just be...
that would be bad.
That would be bad.
That would be bad. That would be bad.
Does that make any difference in the second half?
No, I think we should still be able to get a second.
Plays off the right.
Yeah. I think unless he makes a massive mistake, but I still think we've got enough to not in the most prettiest fashion, but go and get a second and kill the game. Right,
mate. We'll see you on the fan forum. Thanks very much.
Yeah. Cool. See you then.
Catch you in a bit, pal.
Cool. Bye.
Well, so that's an interesting one with Luke Shaw off and Tellez on. I mean, I think it'd be way too efficient of Ollie to say that Luke Shaw's not playing next week, so let's get Tellez on. I don't think Ollie would do that. I mean, this is a player who plays players injured, so he wouldn't do that. So there must be a bit of an injury issue with Luke Shaw. But the second half kicks off. I think that makes us weaker. I do like Tellez, but you're talking to me here about one of the best left backs in the world at the moment, and I don't think we've used Tellez enough anyway, so I don't think he'll even be sharp. So be interesting to see what happens with this. But look, Tellez will be playing next week, so hopefully in one way, as long as Luke Shaw's not got a bad injury, it's probably not a bad idea to get him a bit of game time, however it's come about. But if anyone knows why that's happened, let us know. It shows when James plays for Wales, Mark. He plays for a worse team, therefore there's more space for him to run. He suits a West Brom or a Fulham, says James. Yeah. Look, I've got no issue with Dan James, and like anybody else, I hoped he was going to be a good signing, but he's limited. He's a limited player. He's get his head down and run, meet, play a simple pass, occupy the left back. If there's a bit of space to run into, I'll run into it. As you just said there, you put Dan James in a West Brom side or a Fulham side where they're going to get space on the break because they're going to get attacked a lot, I think Dan James becomes a very, very good player. You put him in a team where a team's going to sit back against you and be well organised, what space is he going to run into? Everybody's limited. You're right, Alvito. Everyone's limited. You can't play Paul Pogba at centre-back. You've got to play to people's strengths, of course. Harry Maguire's hurt himself here. I think he's caught it in the stomach. Might have actually caught it in the nuts. That's going to hurt. That's going to hurt, Harry. That's going to hurt, Harry. Take your time, Harry. We've all had that before. This is a true story, actually. I had a trial for Northampton Town when I was 15, and it was literally the first 5 minutes, and they played me at centre-back, and the level of going up to play at trials compared to just playing for your normal team was amazing. It was just so physical. I won a couple of headers, which I was never that good at doing, and I was reading the game and everything like that. Right back comes out of position. Ball comes across the face of the box. Their left winger gets it. He's got loads of space. I dived across to block the shot, stretched out. He blasted it straight in the nuts. It was a cold day and the ball had been pumped up to the limit. It nearly popped my balls. I'm telling you what, I was in absolute agony. My eyeballs were, coming out my mouth. I just didn't know what to do. And I went to the side, and my stepdad had driven me to Northampton for the game, and he was like, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm going to have to come off. I just can't play on." He said, "You're bloody not. You're carrying on." Took me about 45 minutes to get to come back into consciousness. I was just running around like I was on drugs. I was just absolutely killing. It's a horrible thing. Anyway, that killed a minute. I'm surprised I did have children. Justice for De Gea playing for a trophy, not versus Brighton, says Sebastian G. I don't know what that means. Please subscribe, by the way. We're 100 subscribers away from 14,000. Bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. We're exactly 100 away now. Bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. We're live every night at 8 o'clock. Live every morning at 10 a.m. with the Man United News Show. And United 1-0 up here at the moment. Got Spurs on Sunday as well. It's fast, isn't it? I mean, Spurs will still fancy their chances of getting top 4. Did it prevent you from reaching a semi mark, says Steve Locke? I wouldn't have even made a quarter. I wouldn't have even made a first round. Flex lets you hear say this to Rick when you talk to him. When you let him. What are you on about, W? Maybe construct your sentence before you try to diss me. Corner to Granada. Very, very similar game this. Very, very similar to the Porto-Chelsea game last night, where I think that Granada have had a lot of the ball, but not really had the quality to hurt United's goal. And then United have been clinical. I think it might go the same way. I think United might just get a goal, make it 2-0. I am planning on doing Grand Theft Auto tonight, William, at 11 o'clock. Yes. Good header away there. I think it was McTominay that time. Oh, another good hold by De Gea. That's twice today. It's been absolutely blasted at him. I'm not saying pick De Gea and Henderson. I'm happy for them to share the role. But this is really absolutely blasted at De Gea. And very, very strong hands. Not even letting it drop out. James there to stretch the pitch. But if Bruno, Pogba or Greenwood not making the runs, it's worthless, says Stefan. There's a yellow card for a Granada player here. I didn't really actually see what happens. It looks like it's quite a nasty connection. Dan James. Meet. Oh, I tell you what, it's a nasty foul on Dan James, that is. It's a definitely yellow card. For one of the few times that Dan James has actually got his head down and gone at the player. Bit of space for him to run into. Very, very bad tackle that on Dan James. Hopefully he's going to be all right. Right on his shin. I think he's all right. Even the player who's done the foul has hurt himself there. I hope I don't want him to. I don't want to hope he's injured, but there's a nasty tackle on Dan James. That. Tadic missed a penalty for Ajax, says LFC 1892. It's a nasty tackle on Dan James, That could be not a career-ending injury, but that could be an injury. I think he's all right, but high on the knee. I mean, you can almost say it's a red. I think he's just mistimed it, really, because he's injured himself, but it's a nasty tackle on Dan. He's all right. Yeah, he's all right. Even says they're being sent out to kickers from the start. I think they have. I think they have been sent out to kickers. He's all right. No, I didn't say it was a red. I think on first look you thought, oh, if he's gone to do that deliberately, it's a red. Corner to United here from the cross. No Luke Shaw in the next game, and no Scott McTominay in the next game. Wonder if that means he'll start against Spurs because he can't start against Granada. Don't know. The lack of attacking ability on the right side is hurting the whole team. Too predictable. James gets bullied at this level, says David O'Connell. Well, he got bullied then. Can you call Tristan a prat? It's his birthday, says Josh Judge. Headed away from the corner. I think we'll see more of the same in the second half. I actually think we'll get the second goal as well. I just think we'll just keep it going the same way. Greenwood, that's a decent cross. Maguire's, he has kept it on. McTominay, come on. That's a foul on Harry Maguire there. This will be another chance to put a cross in the box. Very stop-start this game. I think he's going to have to go off. Yeah, he's going off that. Well, some would say that's a bit of justice, really. The Granada player who fouled Dan James comes off. It'd be funny if when Dan James retires, he starts a company called Dan James Limited. Anyway, happy birthday Belated birthday says, as it took me a while, he's there. Thanks for the super chat. James clearly prefers the left side. Another proof that modern players are more of cut inside wingers than traditional wingers, says Sharath Kamath Fitness. Mark, I had a dream. I flew from America to hang out and watch United play with you. Appreciate everything you do, says Braden. You are the main man, best of wishes. You must be dreaming because I'd never spend a game watching it with you. That's a joke. That's a joke. But you must be dreaming anyway because we can't do that at the moment. Cross comes in. Ooh, nearly dropped to Maguire. Cleared away. Nagelsmann or Poch, Mark, says George. I'm nowhere near that stage, you know. I mean, look, if you're asking me what type of manager I would like United to have if we sacked Ollie, I would like somebody with a definitive style of tactical play. I understand that when we brought Solskjaer in, we were bringing him as, you know, I don't blame the club for what's happened with Solskjaer. He came in, he was brought in as a short-term interim manager. He did fantastically well. We gave him the job. It was a bit of a unique set of circumstances. I think if we were replacing Solskjaer, you would not be bringing an interim in again, I would hope. You would be bringing in a manager that you think can do the job. And therefore, I would want a manager to come in and do the job in, you know, a style of football that was different to that of the way that we play at the moment. So therefore, you know, a Nagelsmann would suffice for me. It would be a manager who's very tactical, very progressive, and definitely very modern in his style of football. So yeah, I would like someone like that. Europa the limit for United or challenge for more, says Alex Jackson. Well, hopefully we won't be in the Europa next year at this point. So I think the Europa League is a bit like the Intercontinental Belt in wrestling, isn't it? It's sort of it's the belt that those people can win that are never going to win the main belt. And obviously, you know, PSG or Bayern Munich are going to get knocked out next week. They'd both probably beat Man United, but they won't win a trophy this year. We will win a trophy, but that's because they're in the elite tournament and we're not. So it is a tournament for teams that aren't good enough to be in the Champions League. Roma have scored through Pellegrini. They've got an away goal there. That's the game that United... I think United will struggle against those two teams, you know, the way we're playing at the moment. After watching PSG Bayern, we are a pub team, but you have a fridge to go with it, says Zayn Miasi. Do I think we'll win the competition? You got to take it on. I'm going to sound like Ollie here. I'm not employed by him, but you've got to take it on a game by game basis. Of course you have. I think that just because Pogba's been very quiet. They've just gone to Pogba there, very very quiet tonight. I mean, you see a team sheet with Paul Pogba and Bruno on it, and you think, oh yeah, they're two brilliant players, but they're not blossoming at the moment, are they? For the second game in a row, they're not really blossoming in this system, and you think, what's going on? Why are they not blossoming? Why are they not grabbing older games? I don't know what's going on at United at the moment. Has Pogba got his mind on other things? Is he not fit? What's happened to Bruno recently? There's something, fatigue. I don't know what it is. Marvin says it's tactics. Maybe it is. Here's Greenwood. Bruno, nice little flick out wide to Wan-Bissaka. Goes backwards to McTominay. See, all that progression then turns into nothing. We're back on the halfway line again. Now, here's Maguire running forward. Go on then, Harry. I'll tell you what, he did it that quite well. How was your birthday, Mark? Thanks for all the content. Says FU. Very good, thank you. Very good. I had me Galaxy Ripple birthday cake today. Love a Galaxy Ripple. It's a good run by Maguire, you know. It's a shame if he'd have scored that, Bobby Charlton-esque. I love the way Harry Maguire runs. He runs like an aeroplane. He's wide like that. He's like... You think he's going to take off? Oh, here we go. The wrestling people are going to tell me now. Jordan, Chris Jericho was Intercontinental and WWE. You could use some of his flair on the pitch. Actually, quite a lot of people have won the Intercontinental and then the WWE. He does run like an aeroplane, though, doesn't he? He runs like that. He has his arms out. And I think if he runs quick enough, he'd actually take off. If Harry Maguire ran the length of the pitch like that, I think he'd take off. Top Gun. Harry the helicopter. He runs really wide. It must be quite intimidating when he's running towards you because he's very wide. Right, good run by Rashford here. No, good tackle. United actually feel to me like they might get a goal here. Oh, Harry Maguire's. Oh, he sold the farm there. He sold himself, but we've got enough players back. Good play by Lindelof. Goes for a corner. Good covering by Lindelof there. Maguire was caught out and he was away. I think I could beat Harry Maguire in a race. And I'm proper slow now. Got a bad back. Another corner. They've done. I mean, to be honest, they've done nothing with corners, haven't they, Granada? They must all be about 5'5". Hobbit FC, because they've done nothing. Although, who's watching him there? Who's marking Soldado on the back post? Nobody. Look at him. Look at Soldado on the back post again. No. Bad corner that time. Mark, who's better, Ollie or Nagelsmann or Poch, says Mark Goldbridge's dog. I need more than that. In what way? Like, we're second in the league, mate, in the Premier League. I think it's time for a bit of Daddy Deitch, says Joshua Bowwater. I'm not doing Sean Deitch tonight. I've got a bit of a sore throat. I think it's... if I did Sean Deitch tonight, I won't be doing Grand Theft Auto later. If you got bought by a billionaire and won trophies, would you be as critical as you are for City, Chelsea, says Matthew and Noble? What do you mean? I don't think there's a football fan out there that wouldn't want their club to be bought by a billionaire, but it doesn't mean you can't be taking the piss off when you do it. Here's Wan-Bissaka down the right-hand side. Wins a corner. Don't forget about the famous Intercontinental Champion, the jabroni beating, pie-eating, trailblazing, eyebrow-raising people's champion, says Lee Galdart. Would I rather be Ronaldo or Messi? Ronaldo, because he played for United. Simple as that. Half an hour to go. Cross comes in. Over the bar from Pogba. Come on, Ollie, bring on Donny and Diallo, says Scott Patton. I think there's been I don't think United have played badly tonight. I think the tempo's been poor. I don't think we've played badly. I just think there's a lot of players that have been quite quiet. Not really noticed Pogba, not really noticed Dan James, not really noticed McTominay, not really noticed Bruno, not really noticed Greenwood, not really noticed Rashford apart from the goal. I mean, there's the story, isn't it? The players that we haven't noticed are all bloody attackers, really. We've changed the way we're playing this half as well. Rashford's gone down the middle and Greenwood's gone to the right. Has anyone noticed that? Mark, what is up with Bruno? Love him, but he is not adding anything anymore, says Darren. No. I'll shout out the moderator, Paul Robinson, who said this. How long will it be before we drag Bruno down to our level? Mark Goldbridge Dog says I was talking about style of football and tactical nuance. Well, I don't really watch loads of Bundesliga, so it's unfair of me to talk about Nagelsmann. We had 2 games against them this season. I thought one of them was very equal and we smashed them. And then the other one, we were very naive and he smashed us. So you'd probably have to say that tactically, Nagelsmann sets his team up in a more easier on the eye way than we do. In fact, he does, doesn't he? 3 managers, same style. Is it the managers or above, says Dan Eels. Yeah, the style of football of Van Gaal, Mourinho and Ollie are very not United, aren't they? Very pragmatic football. I do think we have an identity crisis in the way that we play. Here's Greenwood. Go on then. Bruno. Good cross. Ooh, corner. Good play there. Probably one of the few times we've actually stretched them a bit. Have you considered coaching, Mark, even in a schoolboy football and work your way up? You could talk a lot of sense and have a good knowledge of the game. I do coaching already, Luke. I do coaching already. Cavani's coming on. Luke Wynn, thank you very much for the super chat. Hey, Mark, you're funny, witty, reasonable, analytical, and a great commentator. Never quit, says aspiring tenor. Thanks for the super chat there, mate. I wonder who Cavani will come on for. You'd think it's going to be Rashford, but is that too rational? Just saw Cavani and Matic warming up, says Daniel Smith. You should do a WrestleMania watch along this weekend. I am on Sunday night, Jamie Johnson, on the Paddy Power YouTube channel. Claire says, is there anyone Irish in the chat? Oh, there definitely will be, Claire. Can't we say try Tellez as a CDM like Bayern with Kimmich? Well, I don't think he's going to be Kimmich. Well, Cavani's coming on. Nice take by Greenwood. Lovely ball into Dan James. Go on then, Dan. What you got? What you got? Rashford. I don't know what Rashford's doing there. He's trying some sort of skill. And he's fouled a player. The ref will probably book him for that, even though he's done absolutely nothing wrong. I'd be surprised if he books him. And it is Rashford coming off. So 65 minutes for Rashford. WrestleMania is on Saturday and Sunday. I know it is, Jay. As a coach in grassroots, do you think the DCMS stopping fans coming back into grounds in non-league is right, or is it killing these non-league clubs as football is, and that's what it's want? I'm not aware of that going on, mate, but you know, it's very difficult for non-league clubs to get fans back in the ground because with all the social distancing and everything, it's like, you know, is it worth their while? It's a bit different if you're a Premier League club. So Cavani's come on for Rashford. I'll just change the team for you on the screen. It basically will change the way that we're playing as well. Rashford will come off. Mason will go here. And then DJ will go over here. So that's how we're set up at the moment. Another shot straight at De Gea. Ball handling skills of De Gea has been good tonight, hasn't it? I mean, they're not hard saves. I'm not saying that, but they've been shooting from distance at De Gea. Quite powerful shots. Nothing's been spilt. Very strong hands. I mean, it's standard. You'd expect Dean Henderson to do it, but I'm more thinking about Alisson at Liverpool. You'd expect him to have dropped some of them, to be fair, recently. So good concentration levels from the keeper, but I wouldn't imagine they're going to score. I did enjoy Gogglebox the other day, Lee. Something a bit different. I mean, 21 minutes has gone here. The chat's Irish, apparently. Mark, what are Ali's tactics? And a top manager will play Donny. We don't sack Ali, says Mark Goldbridge's dog. And Ollie's tactics are possession football. God, this is awful, says M&K Group. It's slow, progressive football. I said this at half time though, didn't I? I said this when we had Flex on. I said this is what's going to happen. We're going to play like this in the second half and probably the same at Old Trafford. We're going to keep it compact and tight. That's what we're going to do. I'm going to try and hit him on the break. We're not going to play on the front foot. We never do. Missed my last super chat, Mark, says Alex Jack. Sorry, some of them do slip through, Alex. I'm trying to watch a game of football as well. And especially the blue ones, they don't flash up. So if it's a blue one, they do flash through very quickly, I'm afraid. He's not going to look to reinvent the wheel is basically what I was trying to say. Donny doesn't even have socks on the bench, and if he knows he won't get played, honestly sad. Imagine how you'd feel as a player, says Kino. Keanu. There ain't no chance that he's going to bring Diallo on anytime soon. He might give him the last minute just to kill a bit of time, but pragmatic Ollie, he's got all his favourites on the pitch. You know, get me the clean sheet, job done. I said it at half time, that's what's going to happen, whether you like it or not. Do I like it? No, I don't like it. But it's effective. Hi Mark, happy birthday from yesterday, mate. I just want to let you know I've ordered myself an Anthony Martial t-shirt and a United Stand cup, as well as hope you are keeping well and safe and you're doing a great job as well, says Daniel Derbyshire. Thanks, mate. Hope you're doing well too. Mark, 1985 called it once. It's Man United team back. My God, this is bad, says Brad Lewis. Are the United Stand mugs dishwasher safe? Yes, David Page. And James still on the pitch. Van der Beek still on the pitch, on the bench. I struggle to enjoy even our wins now with Ollie, says Nana. The only difference between Jose's and Ollie's United team is that the players like Ollie Moore and would play their hearts out to keep him in his job, says Ashuta. The fact that Donny can't even get on against Granada is so sad, says Jack Bridger. And been sleeping since the 15th minute. Did I miss much, says Forever United. Well, Granada are actually getting more and more closer to our goal. But as I said, very, very similar game to Porto-Chelsea last night. Lindelof's had quite a good game, you know. I think Lindelof's actually played well tonight. Please subscribe, by the way, bottom right-hand corner. We're trying to get up to 14,000 tonight. Bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. Cross comes in again. We're live every night at 8 o'clock. We've got the fan forum after the game. We've got the match reaction after the game where you can do your player ratings, which I think is going to be very interesting, the player ratings tonight, considering there's not been many standout United players again. Very similar to the weekend where we won a game but didn't play particularly well. We're looking at that again. Player ratings will be out very, very soon. Live every morning at 10 a.m. with the Man United News Show as well. So subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. You're very, very welcome. These lads are going to be the end of me. Why do we watch this mundane football week in, week out? If I'm Van der Beek or Twan, I'm out of there next window, says Danny Palmer. And if we can't play on the front foot against Granada, then we're waiting a long time to be entertained under this management, says David Brannigan. Yeah, another yellow card here. I think it's Maguire out of the next out of the semi-final. Get Twan Sebi on, mate. Give him some bloody game time. You might need him next week. I think Eric Bailly might be back. United are hanging on to a certain extent here. Second leg next week. Yes, he's out. I know we're second in the quarter-final, but we're boring. I hate it, says Steve Metcalf. We haven't been good tonight, have we? We really haven't. The goal is... Dan James has angled his run quite well there. Counter-attack FC. Lovely tackle there by the Granada player. "72 minutes gone. Bay won't be able to play next week. When he comes back to the UK, he'll have to self-isolate, says Ashley. There's Dan James on the left. It's not a great cross, to be fair. I mean, he's done the right thing there. Bruno's not happy. He's furious. Matic is coming on now. Well, I think the issue for me, I've just put a tweet out there. Pogba's come off of Matic now, so we've got Matic and McTominay in the midfield. It's just diabolical football. It really is. The result, you can't argue with the result. The result is absolutely spot on. 1-0 away from home, clean sheet, no goals conceded, obviously. You get your away goal as well. The football, in that sense, has been fine. But it's just diabolical football. Absolutely diabolical. And Granada are not very good. And they've played better football than us. And, you know, I just tweeted it then. What's the difference between this and Mourinho? You know, unless you're only 6 years of age, you remember what we were doing 3 years ago. This is absolutely embarrassing for Manchester United, apart from the fact that we're winning. So you almost feel guilty saying it's embarrassing. But it's awful football. Absolutely, unexcusably shit football. Like, it's so bad. Potter played us off the park. We've been played off the park again in a footballing sense, not in a relation to a result. And you just wonder how sustainable this is to keep doing this. I can't argue with that. Maguire is a constant disappointment as captain, says Abe, not just because he's quiet, but his style of play is so basic and dull. Hi, Mark. If you could pick one player, only one player from the 99 team to play in our team, Roy Keane, James. I don't even need to finish it. He's bringing bloody Matic on. That's it. I'm done. What a load of shit, says Carl Brown. Hi, Mark. Happy birthday from yesterday, mate. I just want to know if I've done that one. Okay. And it's no wonder why Cavani doesn't want to spend another season in Manchester. This team is so lost, says Billy. It is. It's a crap performance. It's a great result at the moment, but it's a shit performance. Really, really bad. It's no one done that one as well. And what makes you think the football will improve, says Abdullah. Well, I said it in the international break. There's no excuse not to be playing better football with the players that we've got available, and we're not playing better football, are we? And you know, I can't make the excuses for that. This has been very, very poor tonight. Very, very poor. I can't wait to see your player ratings in the match reaction. I think that's going to be very, very interesting to see. And they're out now. UnitedStand.com if you want to do them. I'm going to drop the link in the video description for you now. Good cross there, though, from Tellez. Cavani. Face it, this is our standard now. Repeatedly, we've been seeing this crap under Ollie. Can't even dominate Granada, and we're supposed to back this manager. You know what? I think I'm at a turning point. Same mistake as Milan. 1-1 around the corners to Stray 79. With the score staying 1-0 and with the players missing for the second leg, have a bad feeling that Granada could knock us out. Well, yeah, it's dangerous for Invasion, isn't it? Because we're at home. Yeah, but Mark, you say that we're second in the semi if we win next week. Ollie's a dusted coach. I wait for the day he's gone. I don't think you listen to what I say, you know, some of you. I've said, give him till May, and if we get top 4, he'll get a new contract, and I agree with that. But what I've also said is, if he plays like this next season, he'll be gone by Christmas. You can't sack a manager in this situation. And I choose to back a manager in this situation because second in the league, we've only done it once before under Mourinho. But use that as a warning sign. You might have to be a little bit patient. If we have a really good summer and we play better football next year, what have we lost? If he comes back next year and plays this shit, he won't last. So you're just going to have to be patient. I think people want the change now because they want the change to happen sooner rather than later. And I get that. But it's not going to happen, is it? It isn't. Links in the video description for the player ratings. Mark every player out of 10, 6 being the average. We're going to go through that on the match reaction. Zayn Miassi would be better than Ollie in the manager's seat. Ollie is a poor man's Neil Warnock. And where's Donny, says Ollie the Wally. Maguire is a constant disappointment, says Abe. We've done that one as well. Thanks for all the super chats. Please subscribe, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. Getting really close now to 1,014,000, 100 away. Bottom right hand corner to subscribe. Please click the button and subscribe. Let's see if we can get up to 14,000. 12 minutes to go. Let's see if we can just get out of Spain with a 1-0 win here. Which is what Ollie's plan is when you bring Pogba on. Take Pogba off and bring Matic on. It's all about the result. To all the fans moaning whilst we're winning, the grass isn't always greener, says Ash G. Nice to see a positive comment there. I got more enjoyment from PSG versus Bayern. Oh, I did, Red Baron. That was a classic game. Absolutely classic game. And it's not even a team playing that I support, but it was just a very enjoyable game. Unlike this. But again, we're back to doing it again. Look, everyone takes a touch, passes it sideways. Everyone, look, we're doing it now. Everyone's taking 2 touches now. So bloody slow. If we were playing a better team, they'd have beat us tonight. Do you think that penny pinching owners will sack Ollie next year for the same dire football? No chance his deal will be at least 2 years, says Busting Up. Robert McCormack, everyone moaning is the reason why bookies take bets on football. 90% of fans that think they know football know sod all. Stop moaning, morons. Don't call them morons, Robert. You don't need to do that. There's no need for the abuse. You were probably making a half decent point for once, and you've abused people. 10 minutes to go. Mark, hospitals should play Man United games for patients about to have surgery instead of using sedatives, says Daniel M. Saddened by Van der Beek's treatment, Ollie needs to go. Boring, says Abu. And they've got a corner here, Granada. I mean, if I wasn't so desperate for us to win, I'd actually half say that they deserve a point out of this. It's a bit like Porto last night. Very, very similar. I have to say it, Mark. I'm Ollie out. Look at this game compared to the Champions League games, night and day. I'm tired of watching good football everywhere else but my team, says Emil. Why would Ollie change with this football? He came third last season, likely second this one. In his mind, it's progress. He'll keep dropping out of the Champions League, says Sid T. Good point. Like, what is the manager supposed to do? Pogba's on a yellow, cross comes in. Pogba's on a yellow. We already are missing key players for the second leg. We need Pogba for sure. Come on, Mark, let's get behind the manager and the team, says John. No, I mean, John, I like people when they're positive, but you know what? This is not Manchester United. I think the result's good. I think where we are in the league is good, and I don't think you can sack the manager. I certainly would say all those things positively, but the football's crap. Like, Man United's not about just grinding out results. We're about winning and playing well. We're about attacking football. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer knows this more than anybody. I saw this under Mourinho 3 years ago. You know what I mean? Rather win badly than lose playing well, says Herman. Yeah, but those things don't happen. That's such a nonsense statement, isn't it? I'd rather win badly than win well than lose playing well. If you play well, you tend to win anyway. Fans will not accept this next season, says Rich Smith. Mark, do you think Ollie Ball will be good? Would be a good signing, says Charlie. See Bruno getting annoyed and throwing his arms in frustration at Maguire. They're strolling out from the back with the ball, says Ross. If you're too blind to see the progress, get out of my club. Rome wasn't built in a day, says Riley. Hold on a minute, Dan James. Into Bruno. Oh, good save by the keeper. Could have been 2. I told you, I said 2-0, didn't I? Why would Ollie be so risk averse against Granada? Thinking people want to know, says Gertchen. Here's Dan James again. Matic. Oh. Seems like United and Arsenal are used to playing the Champions League. How the mighty has fallen, says FU. We nearly bloody won 2-0 there. You know, this is what I mean. Granada are not a very good side. We've made a bloody meal out of this. I think if we'd played on the front foot, we could have won this game comfortably. Bruno would have been offside anyway. Arsenal, I think, have scored, by the way. There is enough evidence out there that Ollie's not good enough. Why do we need to bow down to the club's decision to give him a new deal, says Andre? Because we're going to finish second in the league. That's why. But Donny's coming on. It's coming on with 7 minutes to go. Shout out to Marley. Yellow card for Matic. Okay, now this ref's it's not been that sort of a game, really. Mark, you played and watched football most of your life. Do you really believe Ollie can win as the EPL with the backroom staff? No. I've already said that, Rudy. I want to be proved wrong, but no. At some point of time, Ollie and the coaching staff have to take the blame for this disastrous football, says George. They can take it now. I'm happy for them to take it now. What do you think Everton would fare against Granada here? As I said, I can say for Ollie, Carlo Ancelotti would bring us the positive football we're craving, says Antonius. Look, I'm not going to lie to any of you. I think that with Donny's come on for Greenwood, I mean, he's going to put Greenwood, he's actually going to put Donny van der Beek on the wing, which is what I've been saying for ages. He's actually going to do this, which people say you can't play him there. He's actually going to put him where I've said to put him to start games before. Donny's actually going to go and play there, which is where I would have bloody started him, but there you go. Cross comes into the box for Granada. Second ball, corner. Maguire heads it away. Cross comes in, headed away by Matic. It's backs to the wall time. Five minutes to go. A couple of substitutions for Granada. Player ratings through the link in the video description. Mark every player out of 10, 6 being the average. Looks like Roma are going through at the moment. They've got another away goal. They're 2-1 up. Winner of that game plays winner of this game. Five minutes to go. I think United are looking good for this now. Well done if you stayed awake. You'll definitely stay awake in my bloody match reaction. At least you will stay awake in that. I trust you. Trust me, you will, because I'm ready to say a few things that I haven't said this season. I'm very, very frustrated with the way that we've played, and I think it's about time something was said. It's not good enough. I know the result's good, but look, that goal is one moment. One moment. Here's Tellez, though. He can whip a good cross in. Lovely cross by Tellez. Cavani, good header, goes wide. And I don't know what he's done here. Is he given a penalty? Is he given a penalty? I think he's given a penalty. Bloody hell, we are lucky FC here. The referee's taking a look at it, and I think he wants to give a penalty. He's going to give a yellow card as well. It's definitely a penalty. Manchester United here. I tell you what. We've probably just put this game to bed. Brilliant. Absolutely fantastic. Manchester, well, I mean, people are going to be moaning about it, but they ain't going to give a penalty for that. They're not going to give a penalty for that on VAR. Oh, no, they might. They are. I didn't see the bit before. He knocks him in the face. It's definitely a penalty for Manchester United. Arsenal are winning as well. I mean, we've played absolutely dreadful here, but 2-0 puts this game to bed. Bruno. He has, you know what? To be fair though, Bruno has turned into Fernandes, hasn't he? Recently. Let's see what happens here. Bruno Fernandes. This is for the tie, really. This gives us such a good lead in the second leg. Bruno Fernandes. And it's in, yes! Shake, rattle and roll. It's 2-0 to Manchester United. The keeper got his hands on it, but Bruno Fernandes puts it into the bottom corner. 3 goals in 5 matches for Bruno Fernandes, and that, to me, is game over. Some will be very happy about that. I've probably just woken some people up. I think at least 15,000 of the people watching this show have probably just been woken up by me shouting, well, it's game over, it's 2-0. Keeper should have bloody saved that as well. I don't know what he's doing. He's tried to catch it. Ollie's there, job done. You boring, boring, boring coach, Ollie, but you're a very lucky man as well. 2-0, typical away day. Very, 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 very similar. Very, very similar to Porto-Chelsea last night. 2-0, probably not the better team, but clinical, and United have put this tie to bed. 2-0 to Manchester United. He's done it again. He's done it again. Clean sheet. 2-0. 4 minutes added on. Game over. Results the most important thing, I would say. We're 60 subscribers away from 14,000 as well. So if you want to contribute something positive other than the result, click the button and subscribe, bottom right hand corner. You can do your player ratings as well. We'll be doing them on the match reaction. I predicted 2-0. Flex predicted 2-0. It is 2-0. I predicted Chelsea-Porto 2-0 as well. We'll go into the semi-finals. Fans will all be happy with this again. If paper's over the craps, what a shocking performance. Nothing to do with the board. All on Ollie, says Ben. Imagine being a supporter of England and Manchester United. Insomnia will be out of the door. Look, on the match reaction, I'm going to say exactly what I was going to say anyway. I'm not going to hide behind the fact that we've won 2-0. I still think that there's things that need to be said. And I think sometimes, you know, just because you win a game doesn't mean that you can't say that. It's Arteta out. This is a joke. Kroenke and him out of our great club, says Zamiasi. Is it 1-1? I didn't even know it was 1-1 in the Arsenal game. Oh, it's getting better and better. It's getting better now. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, it is 1-1. Fucking hell. 90 minutes plus 3. They've let the away goal in. Oh, Arsenal. When will you learn? When will you learn, Arsenal? It is 2-0. It is 1-1 in that one as well. Oh, dear. Imagine if Arsenal get knocked out. Arteta will be in trouble, to be fair. We're into the 3rd minute of stoppage time here. Player ratings, links in the video description. Mark every player out of 10, Sex being the average. I tell you what, I'm very interested for your player ratings tonight in the match reaction show, because I think that's going to be really interesting in the context of winning a game like this. But is it result over performance? Of course it is. It's always going to be that. But I don't know who man of the match is tonight. I genuinely don't know who gets man of the match tonight. Ref's about ready to blow up here. We're into the 4th minute. And the referee blows the whistle. And Manchester United effectively put themselves into the semi-finals of the Europa League. It wasn't pretty. It's definitely result over performance again. But that basically puts us through. There'll be no Harry Maguire, there'll be no Luke Shaw, and there'll be no Scott McTominay in the next round, in the next leg, because they've all picked up a yellow card. But even with those 3 players out, I don't see how United won't get through. A lot of people say maybe Lindelof was man of the match. I probably wouldn't disagree with you on that one. Get your votes on the player ratings. Links in the video description. We're also going to go straight over to the match reaction. I'll be live in a minute or so. Lots to discuss. And I am actually going to go a little bit negative because I think something needs to be said. But it is a good result. But I'm not going to change the show because of a late penalty. I'm going to say what I think needs to be said. So I'll see you on the match reaction in a minute or so. When I end the stream, it'll push you over to that live comments anyway, so you can go to the homepage if you want. But when I end it, it will take you there. I'll see you in a minute. Thanks for watching. Smash a like and make sure you subscribe. We're really close to 14,000, 1,014,000.